Press pause, put the controller down. It's time to talk about the gaming industry. My name is TJ Leo.
And I am mildly enraged. And we will
Hello,
talk
mildly enraged. How are you?
we will talk about that later. My name is Andrew. I am, as always, your co-host. We will discuss what has got me enraged.
And this is episode 10, our first milestone.
Double digits
of Press Pause, a gaming podcast. And we have
Numero
a huge show.
Deca. Well, I don't speak.
I don't speak math, so
I don't speak any language other than English, and even then, poorly.
absolutely. Hey, yeah,
You hear how many
you're a fairly
crutch
eloquent
words I
speaker.
have? Yeah, but I have a lot of crutch words. We've talked about this. How much I
Yes.
say "yeah" during a podcast.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, I get it. It's one of those things that you get better at over time.
Right.
Listening to yourself, especially like when I finally get headphones, I'm gonna have to put the monitoring feature on where I can hear myself. And
Oh, I don't do that.
no, oh,
No.
I can't not do it. It drives me crazy. Yeah, I'm not looking forward to hearing my voice. I have a very deep, grisly voice.
Yeah, there's a. It's called Fry. That that
Fry
quality.
voice.
Yeah, that quality. It's like how Marilyn Manson would sing. You know, the beautiful people, the beautiful people.
Well, I'm
It's
definitely
all
as pale as
relative to
Manson,
the side of your
so.
skin. Yeah, that's vocal Fry.
Well, I love French fries, so
Oh yeah, delicious.
delicious, wonderful.
Not at all what our podcast is about. We're talking about Marilyn Manson and
Hey,
vocal timbre and stuff like that.
it's a conversational podcast. What are you gonna do?
Yeah.
All right. How's your week been?
Not tremendously busy, though I have been working.
Yep.
Still plugging away at that other podcast logo. I've been making a lot of progress on that, but we talked about that, and we'll talk about that more at length when we finally are ready to debut the show that we've been teasing for
3
weeks at this point,
Yeah.
at least.
Yep.
And other than that, just following Gamescom, which is what everybody else, even mildly connected to video games, has been doing this week.
Absolutely. Yeah, it's huge. It's basically, I mean, we'll talk about it later. I'm not going to get into it.
Yeah.
Cool. I have been pretty busy myself. But the big thing for me that's actually upcoming is on Sunday, I'm going to Fan Expo in Toronto.
Yes. I have not been to Fan Expo in quite a while.
Me either. Probably been, probably 20 years, 15 years, somewhere in that.
Really? It's been that long for you?
Yeah.
For me, it's been like, I don't know, maybe a decade.
Yeah. Well, it's a long time. We're old, man.
I used to go pretty regularly,
Yeah.
but it just kept getting bigger and bigger, and it was at the point, even like the earlier fan expos that I went to, they were just so huge that it was a safety hazard. Like I nearly had a head-on collision with Alice Cooper in the hallway once.
The real Alice Cooper?
Yeah, the real Alice Cooper.
What?
He was a guest.
Holy cramoly! They're
It
passing
was
celebrities through the hallways like that.
Yeah, that's my point. Is that like
good.
it's so crowded that even a celebrity guest doesn't get like a guest hallway or
Guest
something.
pack,
Yeah, like they
Security.
have to. Yeah, it was one of those situations where the hallways are so packed that the only way people can make it through is when they find a little pocket of empty space that opens up in the crowd and just sort of, does like the sideways turn and slide into it. The move that we would do all the time in high school.
I had to do it all the time at the CNE. CNE is the same way.
And it just so happened that Alice Cooper and I eyed the same empty pocket of space at the same time. And we very, very came very close. I was probably about 2 inches away from the man's face as we just sort of we both did the turn and lean as we went past each other because it wasn't possible to go backwards because the space behind us had already
Already been
filled up with
taken.
other people.
Yeah.
So we just had to kind of keep going.
Yeah, that's not okay. Was that at
No,
the Metro Center?
I forget.
You forgot.
I forget. It was the first fan expo I ever went to, so that was probably like I don't know, like 2007 or 2008 or
Yeah, I have
something.
no clue where. If it's, I think in my like recollection, it's always been at the Metro Center. But that's like, I don't think I can remember that back or back that far. So, but the Metro,
Yeah,
it's still at the Metro Center. If it was, at that time. So that's not very encouraging.
yeah,
Um,
and I also, man, one of the fan expos I went to, I got super, super sick. Like
mm,
the kind of illness that makes you wonder if this is the end for you.
yeah.
Because I was in the state of like my vision was tinted red,
Oh yeah.
and I was like kind of delirious, and I was fine when I went there. I picked up something there
Oh yeah, for sure.
and
It's a
came down
cesspool,
with
man.
it over like the course of the first day, and by the next day I was wrecked. And
Absolutely.
that pissed me off because that was the year Yoshitaka Amano was there,
Mm,
who I really wanted to go see, but
yeah.
it was just not happening. I was dead to the world.
Yeah, I think like, whenever I listen to like IGN's podcasts or anyone who goes to like PAX
Hmm.
or Gamescom, they're like, "Yep, I got the PAX flu,"
Yeah,
after they leave. So
I've never gotten sick at Anime North
hmm.
though.
I did go to Comic-Con Toronto one time, and I went on a weekday when it was very dead, so I didn't have to
Hmm.
worry about that. But I'm going on a Sunday, which is the third least busy day according to them. So,
Yeah,
oh wait, the third busiest day. So
yeah,
Friday and Saturday being
yeah.
two and one. So I'm
I went to Toronto Comic Con like I don't know, like once or twice.
mhm.
I saw the Star Trek: The Next Generation cast at one of them, which
Yeah,
was pretty cool.
I would love to see them at that. It's definitely not at that level anymore, though.
No.
I'll give you a sort of a rundown of who I hope to meet there. I'm definitely not going to get any autographs or photo ops because
Hmm.
they are expensive as hell now.
Yep.
But I will try to meet them. Just say hi.
Yeah.
And so yeah, Bryce Dallas Howard is going to be there.
Hmm.
Uh, Mostly people know her from like Jurassic World and Lady in the Water,
Yeah.
that The Village. John Rhys Davies is going to be there,
Oh yeah.
which I mean,
Gimli.
yeah, needs no explanation. Guy from Indiana Jones. So,
Yeah, he's also in Indiana Jones.
Cameron Monaghan.
Oh, and
Monaghan.
what was that TV show? Sliders.
Yes, he was in Sliders. Yes, yeah, it was a good show. I remember
Yep.
that show.
Hmm.
Cameron Monaghan, who he's in Shameless, but I know him from the Star Wars Jedi.
Oh yeah.
He's the main character.
Yeah.
Felicia Day,
Of course.
who's just amazing. Rod Ferguson is there. He's the producer of Diablo currently.
Oh yeah.
Victor Lucas, he's the main
Hmm.
reason I'm going. The
Hmm.
host of Electric Playground.
Hmm.
Neil Newbin, I think is how you say his name. He's the voice actor in Baldur's Gate 3 for the vampire. I don't remember his name at the moment.
Oh,
Astarion.
Asterion. Yeah.
Yeah. Charles
Cool.
Martinet, the voice
Oh
of
yeah,
Mario.
Mario.
Hmm. And Jennifer Hale is going to be there as well,
Ah, yes.
who's a million voices in game.
Yeah, Jesus Christ, she's in absolutely everything.
Yep. Probably most
And
notable as Commander Shepard in Mass Effect.
and also Naomi in Metal Gear Solid. Oh man, she was what was the character's name? I forget, but the where in the world is Carmen Sandiego cartoon, not the game show, but
Mm.
the cartoon with like the brother and sister who go, and it's like set in the game world, and there's like a human
Oh,
player at the end of every episode. She was the sister in that show.
oh, that's wow. She must have been super young at
Yeah,
that
that
time.
that was like in the mid '90s or something.
Yeah. Huh.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolute ton of stuff.
Yeah, she's a legend for sure.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
She does not do photo ops though, for some reason. Um, but she does autographs.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I hope to. Those are the kind of the main people there that I hope to meet. For those of you that are curious about who else is there, you can check out fanexpocanada.com. They have all the deets there. Who's going to be there? I'm just I'm always a little hesitant to go to these places because on more than one occasion I've gone to like a Comic Con or some of these smaller like conventions, and the one I'm most wanting to see ends up canceling.
Yeah. Oh,
So,
you know who I met at Fan Expo in 2010? Kevin Eastman, co-creator of the Ninja Turtles.
oh wow, that's cool.
Yeah,
That's super
yeah,
cool.
yep.
I
I
met
bought I bought a it's called the Ninja Turtles Autobiography. It's like a combination scrapbook and memoir about the early days of the Ninja Turtles comic, and he was like, selling them at his booth. So I bought a copy of his Ninja Turtles memoir from him,
that was when
and
they were
he even
island.
drew a little Ninja Turtle in it for me. He's like, "What's your favorite turtle?" And
That's
like
cool.
he just autographed it and drew it in there for free.
You still have it?
Oh, of course, it's on
Oh,
my shelf.
yeah. Take a picture of that. I want to see that.
Yeah, oh, it's
That's
cool.
cool.
I'll show it to you later.
Cool. Um, yeah, I've met Kevin Nash. He's a
Oh
professional
yeah, wrestler.
wrestler.
Hmm.
Jimmy Snuka. And strangely, I met Jewel from Stargate Atlantis. No,
Atlantis, SG-1. I lost track of those
yeah,
TV shows. They're
Mhm.
not bad. There were a bunch of them.
No, yeah. There was just lots of them for sure. Yeah, Universe, I think was one too.
Yeah.
But yeah, met her. Yeah, yeah. So I'm looking forward to it. Hopefully, some cool stuff happens.
Oh,
There's also just a ton
you
of
know who else
shows.
was a guest at one of the conventions I went to? PJ Phil from YTV.
YTV. Yeah, I was
Yeah.
gonna say as soon as you said PJ. Wow,
Yeah.
that's cool. Yeah, so I'm looking forward to it. Should be fun. I just like I said, I hope everyone shows up that's supposed to show up. And I watched Victor Lucas as a kid, so meeting
Hmm.
him is going to be really surreal, crazy. He's got like a meet and greet set up in the afternoon, so gonna go say hi and be starstruck and stupid. So that's what happens. I tried to have a conversation with Kevin Nash. I was a complete moron.
Yeah.
Like you have this database in your head of wrestling knowledge, and you pick the most basic crap to talk about because you can't
Hmm.
think of anything because your brain's frozen.
Yeah, it's you kind of run into this moment where you're like, "Oh my god, this person like was in so much
They're
that
real.
I watched as a kid." Like
Mhm.
I met Cam Clark once, who was the voice of oh god, again, so many Leonardo in the original Ninja Turtles, Liquid Snake
Mhm.
in Metal Gear Solid. I met him at a convention. Actually, I met Brian Lee O'Malley, the creator of Scott Pilgrim, at that same
Oh
convention.
wow, that's cool.
Yeah. Um, Scott McNeil, who was the voice of like a third of the cast of Beast Force.
Oh wow.
He's Dinobot and Rat Trap.
I was gonna say he's yeah. I remember the same voice, kind of like
Yeah.
throughout the show. It's like this is the
Fucking
same guy.
what else? Who else was he in that show? Silverbolt and oh, Waspinator. That's the other
Mm.
one.
I think one of the only non-leaders who lasted that entire show.
Hmm. Yeah, yeah, you're
Very few
right.
of them did that.
Yeah.
Very few of them.
Was he the only one who didn't become a trans metal?
He's the only one who didn't get a change ever. He was always the same. Yeah,
And he's
crazy.
he's also the very last thing you see in that show.
Yep.
He gets left behind, and he's like, "Oh, Raspinat, you're finally happy." He finally just gets to chill out. He doesn't have to fight anymore.
Oh, that
And
was a good impression. Haven't heard that voice in a long time. That's funny. It's so good. That was a great show.
it was a good show. And then they made Beast Machines, which was, it was
Yeah,
there.
it existed.
Yeah.
Cool. All right. What you been playing? Anything new?
Um, yes, actually. And by new, I mean old.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and I
Me too.
swear this is the last consecutive week that I'm going to talk about this.
Oh no, Doom.
Yes.
Oh god.
I just want to follow up. Last week, I complained about the final level in that expansion,
Yes.
and I said that I suspected it might have been bugged. I have since confirmed that it was bugged.
Okay.
Playing it in GZ Doom breaks compatibility, and enemies that should have been going down in like 2 hits from the Calamity Blade, which is the ultimate weapon,
Mm,
were instead taking like 6 hits to go down.
mm.
So I jumped into the official version and played that, and it was a night and day difference. It was like, oh, now this is absolutely doable. This final deluge of enemies. So it was totally my fault for playing it in GZ Doom. I shouldn't have done that. I should have known the compatibility is not going to be up to date with it because it just came out. But
Yeah.
I just GZ Doom is just so easy to launch and configure. I mean, I talked about I have a program dedicated entirely to doing that. So that was that. I should have done my due diligence before and checked it
Yeah.
instead of complaining about it. But I've done it now.
And you've,
Um,
and you've
and
corrected yourself on the show.
yeah,
Always a good thing.
the other thing, this is actually also a follow up.
Hmm.
Last week when we were talking about games that got canceled, I brought up a game called Dragon Sword. Which is a game that has had its prototype released online. I went and downloaded it
Oh,
and
really?
gave it a shot. And man, I was right in saying this game should have come out because
Yeah.
it was pretty good.
How
Uh,
finished did it feel?
um, hard to say because I did encounter some bugs, and I don't know if that was a prototype issue or just an emulation issue.
Mm.
But it felt when I played felt pretty close, like gameplay wise, to completion.
Oh,
It was pretty fun. It was, I mean, obviously, if you look at it through the lens of 2024, it's just going to look
it's
basic as
archaic.
hell.
Yeah.
But for a game that would have come out in like maybe 99 or 2000, I think we could have, like, I think you and I especially would have had a lot of fun with it.
Hmm.
Combat was pretty varied. For an
N64
action
game.
game, yeah,
Yeah.
back then you have punches and kicks, and then you can combo those, but then you can also do different button inputs to do special moves. So A quickly followed by B does like a jumping spin kick. B quickly followed by A does a flipping kick. A and B together does a slide. The right shoulder button does a backflip, which also does damage if it connects with an enemy. And the slide also does damage as well. It seems like everything that you do in this game is also an attack. So it would have been really easy to chain together attacks and hit enemies.
Mm.
Um, and it just, yeah, it felt pretty good. Maybe a little bit stiff, but
I mean, it's a
not.
prototype.
It's a prototype, so it might have still been, in need of some tweaks. But even then, like not enough, not stiff enough to prevent me from being like, okay, yeah, I can see what this is like, and this would have been fine.
Yeah.
The problem is that around the end of the first level, I hit a bug that just totally messed up the control stick inputs. Like I would move in a direction and then it would stop and start stepping in other random directions. I still managed to beat the first level boss that way, but it rapidly became unplayable. But I mean, like I said, either a prototype issue or an emulation issue.
Yeah.
I look back and I think like we were robbed. We could have had because we really liked Gauntlet on the N64, and this kind of gave me Gauntlet vibes. Except instead of going through like hordes of enemies, it was more focused on like 2 or 3 enemies at a time. But I think we could have had a blast with it, and it's unfortunate that it got canceled. Though apparently, I read that somebody's picked up the rights to it and the source code. That was
Huh.
a few years ago, though. And I'm a little bit unclear as to who it is because I saw an article on a news website saying that it's a company called Pico Interactive, which I'm not really familiar with. But
No.
apparently, one of the things that they do is re-release old unfinished games. Like apparently they put out a limited edition unofficial cartridge of 40 Winks for the N64. Do you remember that game 40 Winks?
No.
It was not really a big deal, but it came out on PlayStation, but I guess the N64 version got canceled.
Mm.
So they completed it and put it out as a limited
Huh.
edition thing.
Interesting.
But that news article references a Pico Interactive tweet, and the tweet itself says somebody got the rights to Dragon Sword, including the source code, but it doesn't say we did. So I'm a little bit unclear as to whether Pico has it or they just found out that somebody did. I don't know, but I just thought that was interesting. So maybe somebody out there has it and is planning on cleaning it up and releasing it, or who knows.
Hmm.
But it might be neat to keep an eye out for that, because I love that kind of stuff when long unfinished games come out, like Star Fox 2 did,
Two.
or
Yeah.
like the Duke Nukem Forever old build kind of did,
Ugh.
unofficially.
Yeah. Cool.
And
Uh,
that's what I played this week.
I haven't played much. Not new anyway. Like I said, still playing Helldivers.
Yeah.
But I played Exit the Gungeon.
Oh, I've heard of
Um,
that.
I
Yeah.
played Enter the Gungeon, which was sort of a top-down roguelite, um,
Like a twin stick
roguelike
shooter kind of thing.
twin stick shooter. Yeah, it's really fun, really freaking hard.
Hmm.
The Exit the Gungeon though it's a twin stick shooter, but it's a side scroller. That's really weird,
Oh yeah.
and it's a roguelike as well. Very hard, but if you like roguelikes, definitely check out both those games because they're really really good. I'm more of a roguelite fan. I want that like constant sense of progression and leveling up when
Yeah.
I fail.
As
Um,
someone who has actually played a lot of NetHack, I totally understand that. It's pretty demoralizing to lose everything because of a simple mistake.
yeah, like I don't like games like Spelunky or anything like
Yeah.
that. If I have to start from zero, eh,
Yeah.
gets old after a while.
Hmm.
And then we talked last week about how the Time Splitters 1, 2, and 3 games were coming to PlayStation Plus.
Hmm.
So I played those,
Oh,
and
okay.
they're very good translations, very good
Excellent.
ports.
Love to hear
However,
that. Uh-oh.
Time Splitters 1 does not hold up at
Well,
all. There is
yeah.
some the I don't know. I actually don't remember that game being that simple. It's basically like there's no story. It's just a couple of levels where you're
It's
shooting things.
yeah.
There's like nothing to it. 2 and 3 are man, they're so good.
God, Time Splitters 2 is so, so good.
I think 2 is probably the best of the 3. Future Perfect was really good, but it was way more cinematic than I remember it being. It was
Yeah.
super cinematic for a PlayStation 2 game. Yeah, it's
Hmm.
Time Splitters 2, man. And it's so weird how GoldenEye like they are. It's
Well, I
so
mean, Free
crazy.
Radical was made up of a bunch of people who worked on
Rare.
GoldenEye.
Yeah.
So,
Crazy. I can't it's kind of weird that they like didn't get sued. like
well,
like
I mean, I don't think you
everything is
can
there. Like
I don't think you can trademark or own a certain feeling.
I don't know, man. Like some of that stuff is like directly copied, like even to the health bar
The health bar, yeah, it
showing on
being
the left
it
and right.
being
I'm like
the oval with the health on the left and the
the auto
unlimited.
aiming.
That one was a little on the nose,
Yeah,
but I mean, like the auto aiming, that's not a thing that's exclusive to
it's
GoldenEye.
not, but it felt exactly. It was basically GoldenEye
Yeah,
with like a better engine. Like it's,
yeah.
but
It's
you know,
like
they're
it's
still
like
great
how
games.
Perfect Dark is basically GoldenEye 2,
Yes.
and
Yeah, oh yeah,
then the Time
definitely.
Splitters games are like GoldenEye 3
Yeah.
and 4 and 5.
Well, let's not count Time Splitters 1. That's
Well,
definitely not. It's not good. It's just not good. Um, but yeah, I enjoyed my
it
time with
it's
2 as well.
absolutely a spiritual successor and very good.
Absolutely.
I've actually played Time Splitters 2 relatively recently. I played it on a GameCube emulator, and I was like, "Oh man, this is still really good. It still holds up super well."
Yeah, I'm super glad that the ports were done really well too because
Yeah.
they're really nice.
I need a PC version, man. I need one
Mhm.
that's not going to be stuck on a platform,
Yeah.
like it, because if those games came out like 20 years ago, if we still want to play them today, we might very well want to play them 20 years from now.
Yeah.
And then you'd have to dig out like your PS5 from wherever that's going to be.
Well, if they continue on the PlayStation network as is, then hopefully everything from PS4 onward is going to be always available.
Hopefully, but there's no
Hopefully.
guarantee.
Yeah. No, no,
I
definitely
mean,
no
there's no
guarantee.
guarantee of anything, but
No.
I mean, Steam's been around for 20 years and it's,
I,
going strong, so
I'm trying to think if I own any of the Time Splitters games.
oh, in your collection there?
I don't think I do. No, I don't.
No.
That's weird
Yeah.
because
Well,
Time
that's
Splitters 2
from
was a lot. Very,
that's
very
from
good.
an era when we didn't have as much disposable income and we did a lot
Yeah.
of renting of games rather than buying.
I did go back and start purchasing games.
Yeah.
Once I got money, like most of this is not my original collection. It's
Yeah.
brand new. The only original collection I think I have, probably the GameCube collection, because
Hmm.
I never got rid of it. All that stuff.
No.
Anyway, cool. I also played The Mummy Demastered.
Oh yeah, another Way Forward game.
Yeah, it's a Metroidvania. I don't know if it's tied to the Tom Cruise movie or not. It seems like the logo is.
It is. It is
But it
tied to
doesn't.
that.
There's no references to
Yeah.
Tom Cruise or the movie really in it. It's its own game, and
Yeah, it came out at the same time.
gotcha.
But it's one of those things where I don't think they had the licensing rights to like
Tom
the
Cruise's
actors'
name, or
faces or whatever.
yeah. I mean, it's a 2D side scroller, so I don't know how much you'd make him look like
Yeah.
Tom Cruise anyway.
Yeah.
But yeah, I played it for like an hour. I'm gonna continue playing it because so far it's really good.
Yep. Yet another Way Forward game that we give a solid endorsement to. They don't make bad games over there.
No, not very often. They have a couple duds, but they're
They've got some that aren't like as good,
yeah,
but
they're getting up there with Digital Eclipse as far as like
they've
remasters
they've
and
got a
like
lot of good work
yeah,
that they do there.
good side scrolling stuff. All right,
Mm-hmm.
let's move into it's letter time. It's
Oh,
letter
here we
time.
go. Yes.
We have 4 this week.
Ooh.
Yeah. Let's start off with one of the new ones. This is from Jordan Fan 2012. Is there any rumored or pending game systems that excite you the most?
I gotta be real. I'm having a very difficult time getting excited about paying a bunch of money for new hardware. That isn't just upgrading my PC. Like
Hmm.
I'm at a point in
You're not
my
a console
life.
guy, really, at this point.
Not anymore. I
Yeah.
mean, I have a bunch of game consoles, but that's kind of the problem. Is that they keep taking up the same amount of space, and you know, I have a limited amount of space to work with.
Would you ever consider like a Steam Deck?
Um, maybe,
Okay.
maybe.
I've considered it because I like my laptop is not a gaming rig at all at this point.
Yeah.
It's good for maybe like smaller indie games, but you get 3D visuals and that's not like I can't do it. It's just
Yeah.
not gonna happen. So I've
The
considered it.
the issue with the Steam Deck for me is that if I'm going to be paying that much money, I might as well just go with a laptop that I can also do serious work on.
Yeah, but a laptop for $600 is not really gonna get you
It's not going to
gaming
be a
rig.
gaming lap. Yeah,
Yeah.
but that's the thing
Oh,
is
so you're comparing. If I'm going to spend this amount of money, do I want a Steam Deck or do I want like a laptop that I can just work with?
yeah,
Yeah, that's a good point.
because I don't know how well you could run. Well, I mean, you could probably run Photoshop on a Steam Deck. I don't think that'd be too much of a problem.
I
But
have no idea. I
you know,
assume so.
some other stuff like video editing. I don't know, man.
Yeah, probably not.
Although, I mean, the Switch 2 or whatever they're going to call it, like, I'm going to get that. I just
Mhm.
hope that it's, like you said before, fully compatible with the Switch stuff, because
If it's not backwards compatible, they screwed
that's
up royally.
that's going to be a huge problem if it isn't.
Yeah. Yeah, as far as like rumored or pending game systems, there's Switch 2, there's the Xbox handheld that's been teased by Phil Spencer.
Yeah,
There's the PS5 Pro, which we're supposed to hear about in the next month.
I could not possibly give less of a fuck about mid-generation upgrades.
So I did participate for the PS4 Pro. Um, here's my shtick with that whole thing is that had I known what the PS4 Pro was going to do, I would not have picked up a normal PS4. I would have just waited.
Oh, you would have just waited, yeah.
Because the upgrade to 60 frames per second was a game changer for that generation. For this generation, I don't know what it's going to do.
Yeah, lots of stuff is already running at 60, which is great.
Yeah, there are a couple games that aren't, which we're going to talk about later.
Yeah.
But yeah, I need to be sold on it. Like I don't know, like because they haven't announced it yet. It's like it's just all conjecture, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, I want to know what the point is. Is it going to be just you can run games at 120 frames per second, or are you going to be like, okay, you can finally have your dream. You can have 4K visuals at 60 frames per second. Because right now, if you basically have to choose 4K 30 or 1080p 60, you have to choose between those two options on PlayStation 5 and Series X.
And in order for that to be of any use to me, I'd need to have a 4K TV, which I don't.
And really,
which is
honestly,
another expense.
it's not even there's not even any point to using a 4K system.
When you're sitting that far away, it's
Well, no, you need a TV that's larger than like 65 inches, 65 or higher, I would say. You're not
yeah.
really gonna
I don't
notice
have
it.
room for that.
Yeah, mine is 75, so I would probably notice it on there. And honestly, I've every so often when I go into a game and I'm going through the options, I will set it on quality mode just to see what it looks like, and I'm like, damn, that does look quite a bit better, and there's a little more foliage, and everything looks a little crisper, and oh, look at the ray tracing is really nice.
Yeah.
And then I switched over to performance, and I'm like, yeah, but this just feels better.
It feels better to run it at 60.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
we'll see if they can guarantee me, like they said at the beginning of this generation, that everything was going to run in 4K 60. Maybe I'll think about it, but I think it's coming late in the generation too. Like we only have, like,
We're
let's
like
say this
halfway
thing, yeah, like we're over halfway through. Like let's say this thing comes out November. Let's just for argument's sake, and we have 3 years left, maybe 4, before PS6. Do I really care? I don't know. Like they gotta sell this.
Which one is going to be the glass sphere? Is that 7? Do you remember that commercial where they were like, I think it was a PS2 commercial, and they were like, it was a future PlayStation that was like several generations, and it was just this glass orb.
Yeah.
If they don't do that, I'm gonna fucking sue them for false advertising.
That's what's funny about that. What that reminds me of, I was watching. Do you know Xavier Woods or Austin Creed?
Yeah, the wrestler.
Yeah, he does Up Up Down Down, the YouTube channel. Mm-hmm. Huge gamer. He went to Super Potato in Japan, and he found a TV that's a sphere, and he was like, "Can I buy this?" And the store was like, "No, it's not for sale. It's just for display."
Yeah.
But that reminded me of that. I was like, "Oh."
Or
cool.
Okama Game Sphere from South Park.
Yeah. Or the Las Vegas Sphere.
Oh, can you imagine playing a game on that?
Oh my goodness.
Man,
that'd be something. But yeah, I don't know if I have like something. Switch 2, I think, would be the most one I'm excited about, just because I really want to know what it is. Like, I'm shocked it's taken them this long to even talk about it. They're to the point that every time they have a
Nintendo Direct, they got to say there's going to be no Switch 2 news.
They even had to say it when they were talking about the Nintendo Museum, which I still haven't checked out, by the way. I got to check that out.
Oh, dude.
Yeah.
I can't believe... Oh, so that we can't talk about it this week.
Yeah. I haven't seen it yet.
I had a video bookmarked and everything.
Yeah. Well, we'll save it for next week. That way I can have something to talk about. Besides, we have a busy week.
Yeah, we've got a full schedule this week.
Yeah. Next letter is from AJ. AJ asks, and this is going to be difficult for us.
Okay.
What's your favorite sports game?
Ooh.
I'll lead off just because I can cheat a little bit on this.
Okay.
Probably like a wrestling game.
Okay.
If you consider that a sport.
Yeah, that's gonna be my caveat as well.
Yeah.
If you consider it a sports game, honestly, like any of the Tony Hawk 1 and 2,
I'd consider
the one that came out.
Yeah, for sure.
But if you're talking about specifically like a ball-based sports game or something along that line,
or a puck.
Oh man, there's NHL Hockey 91 on the Genesis is pretty good. It's got the really crunchy when you check people. I used to play that with my cousins a lot.
I was gonna say, in that same vein, if I had to pick like an actual
NBA
sport,
Jam,
quote unquote, I would say NHL Hits.
Oh, NHL Hits, okay.
The hits in that game, just chucking people through glass, is so fun. It's so fun. Yeah, I'd either like WWF No Mercy on the N64 or NHL Hits.
I will say, I have played a surprising amount of NES Open, the golf game on the NES. Yeah. That's actually not bad. I never played it before, but it's on the Switch, like virtual console.
Yeah.
I was like, fuck it, I'll see what this is about. And I was like, this is actually a lot of fun.
It's not terrible. Yeah.
I'm having a really good time with this.
I remember playing Mario Golf on the Game Boy Advance, and it was like it was like a golf RPG. It was so good.
Yeah.
So good. All right. Thanks, AJ, for that one. And thanks, Jordan Fan 2012, for your questions. We once again have one from Colt 2K, our co-host over on Wrestling Renaissance. What was the first console you ever played?
Ooh, I think I might actually know this. I think it was Well, I'm kind of cheating on this, but I think it might have been the Atom computer. And the reason why I call that technically correct is because the ColecoVision is an Atom computer with like the keyboard and stuff stripped out. It just the bare components necessary to play games. So it's like the more advanced version of the ColecoVision. The first game I think I ever, at least the first game that I have like a clear memory of playing
I was going to ask that as well. First, I
was
was
a
going to add to his question. First game as
yeah
well. Yeah.
was a clone of Moon Rover called Lunar Rover. You remember
Okay.
how there were so many clone games on home
Yeah.
computers back then?
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
Um,
Star Trek.
yeah. But I actually saw a video recently that suggests that might have been on the TRS-80 color computer, which I also had.
Hmm.
So I think it might have been on both. So I'm not sure where I would have played it first. But we're talking like really, really young. Really, really,
Gotcha.
really young. Like at the age where I couldn't fully form clear memories yet. So there that is a strong candidate. I do clearly remember buying an NES.
Hmm.
That I remember doing. So if you're talking about pure traditional games console, it would have been the NES because that's the one I have the first clear memory of actually going out and getting and
Yeah.
setting up and playing. And then it would have been Super Mario Brothers Duck Hunt on that because that was the pack-in title.
Yeah. I'm. So it probably is the NES, but I don't have a clear memory of what game it would have been if it was. But I do have what I think is my oldest memory is playing Final Fight on the Super Nintendo.
Oh yeah,
Pretty
good
sure
game.
that's the first game I ever played. It's definitely not what got me into gaming because that game's fine. It's just a brawler.
Yeah.
But that was probably the first console and the first game that I remember playing. But
Hmm.
I wouldn't be shocked at all if I played some NES stuff before that, though.
Yeah, probably. I mean, you were talking about how your uncle
An
had
NES.
an NES and a bunch of games.
Yeah, yeah. So it wouldn't shock me at all if I played those.
Yeah.
Thank you for your question, Colt 2K. And last but not least, returning from last week, Old School Legend. He asks, what is the most disappointing game that you've ever played? Something you had your hopes up for, and then you played it, and it sucked.
Ooh.
Or maybe it didn't
Ooh.
suck, but maybe you just were let down by it.
Mmm.
It's a tough
That
one.
is that's tough. There have
Yeah.
been some disappointments. There have definitely been some disappointments.
I
Um,
can give you time to think if you need time to think.
I mean, if do you have one that you want to lead with?
Um, the only one that I can really think of, and it's not even something that I had my hopes high for it, honestly. It's the earliest memory I have of regretting buying or renting a game.
Oh.
And it was Beetle Adventure Racing, I think it was called.
Oh yeah,
I
for
think it
the
was 64.
N64. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
I remember renting it and taking it home. With experience with like San Francisco Rush and like Cruising USA
Yeah,
and
well you probably thought, "Hey, the N64's got a lot of good racing games on it."
yeah, this was
How
not
could
one of
this
them.
how could this possibly go wrong?
Yeah.
Well,
It has good reviews though. If I go back in time and check out like reviews at that time, it had good reviews. I'm like, what?
yeah.
I'm like, what?
Did
Did
we
we
play
play
the
the same
same
game?
game?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Unless I'm mistaking that game for something else, which is
Mhm.
possible.
Mhm.
But I remember getting that game home. I played like maybe 15 minutes of it, and I went to my mom and was like, "Can we go exchange this? Like it's that bad."
Yeah.
So yeah, that would be mine.
Yeah. I've got two.
Okay.
One is going to be like not a disappointment, but definitely a downgrade,
Okay.
and that was Elder Scrolls 4 Oblivion. So I played Morrowind, and
That's
Morrowind
interesting.
completely blew me away with just how imaginative it was and how unique and interesting everything was. It was so unlike the traditional fantasy stuff I'd been seeing in games all my life. And then Oblivion comes out, and I play that, and it just looks like any other generic medieval fantasy game. It's not a bad game, but like I think back to Morrowind and I think of like the Telvanni cities, which are grown, which are made of mushrooms that have been magically grown to gargantuan size, and then had the insides hollowed out, and that's what the buildings are made of. And then Oblivion is just stone castles. And I'm like, come on, guys, you had such an incredible game world in Morrowind. Why is it all just generic medieval fantasy in Oblivion? I mean, I guess most of the creativity comes in the various Oblivion realms that you go to, but man, I remember thinking like, oh, well, this isn't nearly as awe-inspiring as the last one.
Hmm.
As for game that was actually disappointing, because, problems aside, Oblivion was still a lot of fun.
Yeah.
I would say the Arma series.
Oh yeah.
So I saw videos of these games and I was like, "Oh, that looks really cool. I want to try those." And then I tried them and they're like the slowest, clunkiest,
Yeah, they are.
jankiest, just garbage.
There was one good game from that series,
Yeah.
America's Army, I think it was called.
No, America's Army is a different thing.
Oh, is it? I thought it was like
Yeah.
an offshoot of that brand or something like that.
No, 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 no.
Or on that
Arma.
engine, maybe.
No, no. America's Army was developed entirely in-house by the U.S. military,
Huh.
as a promotional tool, and Arma is from where are they located? Bohemian Interactive. I don't know where they're located off the top of my head, but they're not an American company. They do, however, produce, I think it's called Virtual Battlefield Simulator, which does use the Arma engine, and that is used for
Czech Republic.
virtual. Sorry, what was it?
Czech Republic.
Czech Republic. Okay. Virtual Battlefield Simulator, or whatever it's called, is a product that they do sell to militaries for like virtual training. So that's probably what you're thinking of.
Yeah,
But
I
yeah,
loved America's Army, which is weird that a game that good was developed by.
oh, it's a propaganda tool.
Yeah, it was good. It was really well done.
Yeah, I never played it, but I should have because it was free.
Yeah, yeah.
But yeah, Arma
really
just
good.
was a complete disappointment, and I seem to be the only one who feels that way because every time I see videos of it on YouTube, it looks fucking sick.
Mhm.
But then I remember, no, I've played this game and it feels like garbage.
There's a lot of those like realistic modern military
Like
shooters on
simulator,
PC.
and
Yeah,
I was into that idea, but
I'm into that idea too, but I agree that's not a good.
it was just so
It's
clunky.
slow and plodding, and yeah, there's a new game that came out recently that's kind of similar to that idea, with like realistic physics, and you get
Yeah.
shot in the leg, and it's like a real shot in the leg, and like
Yeah.
I can't remember what the name of the game is, but yeah, you have to be. That's for a very specific audience.
Yeah,
Very
yeah,
specific audience.
yeah. And they have a great time with it, so good for them. But I just
Just
could
for
not. I just didn't like it at all.
Yeah, for sure.
No hate to the developers.
No.
It is a very impressive engine. Like the scale of it is really cool, but the actual just moving around was torturous to me.
Absolutely. All right, that is letter time. Thank you for writing in, Old School Legend, and everyone else.
Yes, thank you.
That's fantastic. So let's move into the news. I'll let you lead off because I know you have something to get off your chest.
Oh boy, do I ever. And the news is going to be a little bit different this week because, of course, Gamescom was this week, and so
it's
the
gonna
news,
be pretty light as far
the
as
news and trailers and
quantity.
the topic of the week are all kind of one and the same.
Yeah.
But we do have
a
a little bit of non-Gamescom news, and this came to me just a few hours ago. It was put up today. There's an article on IGN, an expose, if you will.
Yeah.
Titled "A Prominent Accessibility Advocate Worked with Studios and Inspired Change, but She Never Actually Existed." And the subtitle is, "In 2019, the game's accessibility community mourned the death of Susan Banks. Now evidence suggests she may never have existed to begin with." And if you think that this story is just about an imaginary dead woman, oh no, that's where the story begins.
Yeah.
There are no less than 3 imaginary women in this story. 3 allegedly,
yeah,
imaginary women, all of whom are supposedly disabled, of some, some non-white race. They all seem to be immigrants,
Mhm.
and they all seem to have a disability, and they're all advocates. But according to this article, this article alleges that they are all the creation of a single person. What was his name?
Something
Um, Cody
Craven.
Craven. The article basically suggests, and backs it up with considerable investigative reporting, that all of these people were inventions of Cody Craven, and that he was them, and had invented these identities. With regards to the woman who supposedly died, she was supposedly an employee at a university. They reached out, and the she was a professor of deaf studies at I don't know if this is pronounced correctly, Gallaudet University. But IGN reached out to them, and they say never had anybody by the name of that work here. With regards to a hospitalization that supposedly occurred to her, one that resulted in supposedly a double leg amputation. Uh, Hospital says there was no record of any patient by that name. And with regards to her death, IGN was not able to find any kind of obituary or any records of a death of a woman by that name at that time in that particular location. And it basically goes on about these two other women. And IGN is alleging that this man Cody Craven just invented these women whole cloth, and used them for clout, I guess, and also for some fundraising. There was a GoFundMe that was raised in one of their names, which, if they don't exist, is fucking illegal. Like, that is outright fucking fraud. And this is why I am angry today. Um, because, like, I've been angry on the show before, but it's always been a sort of
Elden Ring.
it's all yeah, but it's always been sort of a funny anger. It's always been
Yeah.
an amusing anger. There's nothing humorous about this. This is a guy, allegedly, again, defrauding disabled people. Like, there's no amusement here. There's just rage. Like, what the fuck is wrong with you? Like, first of all, obviously defrauding anyone is wrong,
Yeah.
but to go after disabled people to build up goodwill in that sphere, and then milk them for money by saying, "Oh, this woman who was my partner, she died. Here's a GoFundMe to keep her website running," or like, it's just it's gross. And this had like far-reaching connections, like legitimate organizations like Able Gamers were in support of this quote unquote person, even though none of them had ever met her in person, but they took it on good faith that she was real because, number one, a person who is deaf, which this Susan Banks woman supposedly was,
Supposedly.
would have a difficult time communicating in person because she can't hear. But also, number two, because who the hell would expect that somebody would make this shit up? And so IGN has apparently, the I want to give a shout out to the author, Grant Stoner.
Grant Stoner.
And it seems like there are other people at IGN who were working with this.
And he's a disabled gamer himself.
Yes. Um, and IGN has apparently been working on this story for a little while, trying to
Yeah.
collect all the information before going public with it. And when they reached out to Cody Craven, uh,
No comment.
well, the response has been apparently to scrub the internet of their social media and presence,
Disappearing.
basically go into hiding,
Yep.
which
Not a good sign.
not a good
The
sign.
guilty run.
Yeah, like, you're telling me that you have these supposedly not just one, but three women who were your close associates, and you don't have a shred of evidence. Like you wouldn't offer anything to back up your claims that they exist. You just wipe yourself from the net.
Go ahead.
Fucking come on, dude.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't have a whole lot to say on this just because I think it just came out today, right? Like this was
Yeah, it just
just
came out
launched
today.
today.
It was published just hours ago.
Yeah, so it's very fresh. And I think if I was a betting man, we are going to hear a lot more about this in the next couple of weeks.
Yeah.
This is
Oh, I
just
certainly hope so.
the
Because
explosion,
yeah,
you know.
the only thing I don't like about what IGN has done here is that they put it out the same week as Gamescom. I think they should have held this till next week when there was a little bit, less when there was less air traffic, just
They
so that
did
it
at
could.
least wait till Friday. Nothing really happened
Yeah.
today at Gamescom. It's not, if they did it on opening night live, I'd say
Yeah,
that was
that
stupid.
yeah.
But
But I
yeah,
really don't want this to disappear under the cloud of Gamescom because this shit is villainous.
oh yeah,
This
no,
is
it's
this is disgusting.
no, we'll definitely. I guarantee you, some of the news outlets are going to pick it up, and
Yeah. Yeah.
we're going to hear a lot more about this. And
So
someone's going to
yeah,
hunt him down and
yeah,
find out what the hell's
yeah.
going on. He's going to have to
So
answer for it.
Grant Stoner and there are other names credited here: Kate Sanchez and Matt Donahue,
Mm.
also of IGN.
Mm.
Way to go, guys!
Yeah.
Good job. Like there has been a lot of criticism of games journalism, and no shortage of it has come from me. I've certainly had plenty of unkind things to say about IGN over the years, but this is the real shit. Like this is actual for real journalism. This isn't fucking, you know, a fluff piece on an upcoming game. This isn't an affiliate link for the best gaming chairs this season.
No,
This is real
it's a
ass
thing.
journalism, and it is well done. Like I
Yeah, it's
strongly
very detailed.
recommend
Yeah.
everybody read the article because it goes deep. This
Yeah.
is this
I
is the
wonder
real
if
shit.
he is not from IGN and he actually came from one of those companies that IGN recently picked up.
Maybe.
Because that doesn't
Uh,
strike me as something IGN specifically would do, and I'm wondering if
yeah.
he was brought on specifically for
Yeah,
this
I have to admit I'm
thing.
not familiar with a lot of these people because I just
No,
like I don't read a lot of gaming news sites. I just
gotcha.
I just watch the trailers and
Yeah,
that's about it.
I know a few
When I
names here and there. His definitely doesn't come up as like a
yeah,
something I'm aware of.
but that
But
shit is just
it's crazy.
rage inducing.
Yeah, crazy story.
Yeah.
And like I said, we'll probably have follow ups on it every week because like
Hmm.
I cannot see this thing sitting
God, I
and
hope not.
with no updates. Period. Like it's something's going to come from it. He's going to try to disappear, but
Yeah.
someone will find out. And I'm wondering, it wouldn't shock me at all if that wasn't his real name,
Yeah.
Cody Graven. It's probably a
Yeah.
fake name.
It sounds like a wrestler name.
I was gonna say it kind of it's a good name, like it's
Yeah.
you know. So yeah, it wouldn't shock me if that was a
I
fake
was
name too.
so angry when I read this,
Oh, I can
and
imagine.
I tried to take like a hot shower just to relax, like to steam the rage out of my pores. And I guess the hot water is off in the building currently because I turned on that shower and it was ice cold,
Oh jeez.
like the blood running through my veins.
Yeah,
That really pissed me off.
not a great news story for sure, but definitely one we didn't want to ignore.
Right.
All right, let's get into some better news.
I
Maybe?
don't think anything could possibly be worse than that.
No, I don't think so either. We'll start off with a good one. Black Myth Wukong has massive launch. It has
Mm-hmm.
overtaken multiple games to, as of now, I believe, it is the second most played game ever on Steam at 2.2 million concurrent players.
Mm-hmm.
The
Good
only one
job.
ahead of it is PUBG
Mm-hmm.
at 3.2 million.
Can I confess something? I don't know anything about that game. I don't think I've seen a
It's a
single.
Souls-like. They say
Okay.
it's not a Souls-like, but it's a Souls-like. It's
I don't
from
think I've
China.
seen a single frame of anything. Like I hear the name a lot,
Mhm.
but it just didn't seem to be as much coverage in the media as like all the other stuff. But
Yeah.
this is a massive game that is that's made in China, and so
Yeah,
I'm assuming a lot of those players are Chinese that are happy that
could be
that their country has produced a game that's
that
done
good.
so well. I mean, it's not the first time this is happening. Genshin Impact is a Chinese game, I believe. Um,
Mm.
but yeah, cool,
Yeah,
good for
they're
them.
yeah, I think IGN gave it an 8 if I'm not mistaken. They said it was really good, really fun, very hard. But the thing that was holding it back was a lot of the technical problems with the game that needed
I
to be
did see
patched.
some weird stuff though about I guess people who were getting sponsored to play it.
Hmm.
They usually have like rules about what you're allowed to talk about and stuff
Yeah,
like that. But they also had stuff like you're not allowed to discuss the conditions under which the game were made, which to me says like that sounds like the studio had crunch and they
I mean
don't
it's
want people.
China. I'm not
I looked at that and I
sorry.
was like, I don't
Yeah,
like that.
yeah. No, it doesn't
I don't
surprise me
like
at all.
that.
I mean,
I would never be able to make it as a streamer because at the second somebody tried to hit me with anything like you can't say this, I'd be like, fuck you.
oh yeah,
No
yeah.
way.
No,
I
absolutely
wouldn't
not.
be even if I wanted to agree to your terms, like there's no way I could keep my fucking mouth shut.
I don't even understand how they can do that at once the game's released. But I guess if they're paying them,
Yeah, there's just for
yeah,
like sponsored
yeah, I
streams.
guess that makes sense. Yeah, they
Yeah.
just say no and play the game and stream it anyway.
Yeah.
Like, sorry, if you're not gonna let me speak, then I'm gonna.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's selling really well. 10 million copies in only 3 days, and it just keeps going. So
Hmm.
crazy,
Though
crazy big
it
win.
remains to be seen if this continues to have the staying power because like Pal World had a huge amount of hype right
2.1
around the
million. Yep,
release, and
yep.
then
Died.
like it just I don't hear about it anymore
I don't
at all.
understand why that game got so popular so quickly because it's a freaking early access game that's like way early access. Like I'm not talking like
Yeah,
you know, it's early access like Baldur's Gate 3 was, and then in like 6 months it's going to be out. It's
yeah,
early access, early access.
yeah.
I
I mean,
played it and I was like, oof,
it's Pokemon with guns, and people thought that was really funny. Which I
yeah,
mean, it is.
that game should have waited and came out. Like, why they did the early access thing? Because now, by the time the game's finised, the hype's gone
The
and
player
no one
base is going
cares.
to dwindle.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no one's going to care at that point. So they should have waited on that game, I think. Yeah, congratulations to Black Myth Wukong developers. I'm not sure. I think they're called Game Science. I think is their name.
Hmm.
Not a great name.
No.
But yeah, they call it an action RPG. They don't call it a Souls like. The way the reviewers are kind of explaining it is it's sort of a cross between like a Ninja Gaiden type of
Okay.
experience and like what was the other game they compared it to? I can't remember.
Well, whatever.
They call it an action RPG though, not a Souls like.
Whatever they describe it as, it is currently a hit.
It's
So
currently it.
good for them.
Absolutely. Negative news, but unsurprising news. I don't know why anyone is excited for this game at this point. Vampire the
Oh.
Masquerade Bloodlines 2 delayed again.
Uh,
Now it is scheduled to come out in the first half of 2025. It was supposed to be out this fall. This game just keeps getting delayed and delayed and delayed and delayed.
yeah.
Like, I don't like. Here's the thing.
It's either
This,
going to come out and be really polished or it's going to be a mess.
yeah, this kind of stuff honestly pisses me off at this point because you see so many developers screwing this up, and no one learns from their mistakes.
Yeah, they name a date and then they can't hold to it.
Don't name a date until you know you're ready to go.
Yeah,
Talk about the game all you want,
Yeah,
but don't put a date and then we got to push it back a year. Oh, now we got to push it back 6 months. Like
hmm
you were a year and a half out from your goal, and you
everybody
didn't
wants to
know
see a
that.
date, but if you can't commit to the date, just don't put a date.
Don't put it there. It just makes you look stupid. I can't stand that crap anymore. It's
If
that's why
you
I don't care about
must,
it anymore. I'm like, whatever. I was excited
just
when they
name a
announced it.
year.
Yeah, what's that?
If you must give a date, just
Give a
limit
year.
it to a year.
Yeah,
And
that's fine.
that way if it gets delayed, it's like, oh well, it might have come out in January, it might have come out in December, and now it's delayed to the
Yeah,
following year. So it might not actually be that long. It's the same delay, but it doesn't appear to
it
be
doesn't.
as
It's not as
long.
impactful. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's like if you say it's coming out September 5th, 2024, or whatever the case is, like
Hmm.
I'm so over it at this point. Like
Yeah.
if you fuck that up at this point,
Quit jumping the gun on a date.
yeah,
Just don't set expectations like that.
and we're gonna talk more about this later for a couple of
Mm.
reasons.
Mm.
Spoilers. but yeah, we'll see when that comes out,
Yeah,
whenever it does. This one's a little weird. Horizon Forbidden West, which is the sequel to Horizon Zero
Zero
Dawn
Dawn.
for PlayStation 4 and PlayStation 5, whatever that combination is leaving PlayStation Plus.
That's weird.
This would be the first time, if I'm not mistaken, that a first party game has been removed from either Game Pass or PlayStation Plus
Yeah, that shouldn't happen.
game catalog. Why? Like, you're removing your own game?
That's supposed to be a killer app.
Yeah, I don't understand why they did this. Now, the article that I read from IGN, from Ryan Dinsdale, had some speculation on why they might be doing this. So there was rumor of a remake of Zero Dawn to bring it up to the same standards as Forbidden West,
That's
which is ridiculous.
ridiculous.
I know it's not even an old game. But it's the same thing that they did with Last of Us 1. They
Yeah,
remade
which
1 to bring it
also
up to 2.
which also didn't need it.
No, which also didn't really need it at all. So their theory, let's see what it says here. So it says, if Sony is planning to release a remastered version of Horizon Zero Dawn, it would make sense to remove both it and its sequel from PlayStation Plus catalogs, so fans would be inclined to purchase the full versions of both games instead of essentially renting them through the subscription service.
But that tanks the value of your subscription service.
Yeah, which already is kind of dwindling, in my opinion. Game Pass is just
Game Pass is a better deal.
Yeah. So yeah, I thought this was really weird. We'll see what happens. You know, I think, like I said earlier, everyone's kind of expecting a PlayStation Plus, or sorry, a PlayStation 5 Pro announce event. You know, like a showcase from PlayStation in September.
Oh, one of their what do they call it?
They usually call them a state of play, but
Yeah,
whenever
state
they
of
have like
play.
a big thing, you know, like a big one, they usually call them the PlayStation Showcase. That's kind of how they set
Right.
expectations.
Yeah.
You know, they do like a state of play. A state of play is like, you know, you'll get some things here and there, and probably one big thing at the end. Whereas a showcase is like, we're gonna announce some good stuff.
Okay.
And that's kind of what I guess people are expecting in September with the Pro announcement. Probably with, you know, Pro versions of a bunch of games that they're going to announce at that point. But I thought it was really weird. I hope. My hope is that it's true. Like I would think a Horizon Zero Dawn remake or whatever you want to call it would be cool. But I went back and played Zero Dawn, and it's still really good.
Yeah, it looks fine.
It's not old. It's only like,
the only thing they could conceivably do would be like to add ray tracing to it.
Yeah, like Horizon Forbidden West definitely looks like a better game than Zero Dawn. That game's gorgeous.
Like ray traced global illumination, just that alone can make a huge difference.
For sure. But I mean, they're going to do more than that. I mean, look at what they did with Last of Us Part 1. There's a lot they did that.
Yeah.
Although I haven't bought that one.
No.
Because they have.
I still think the worst offender of that is probably Control. Because they put out Control in like the last year of the PS4, and then the PS5 version isn't just, oh hey, it's the PS4 version with like features patched in. You actually had to like buy the PS5 version as a separate
PS4
title.
owners got it for like $10 or something like that. It was like a transfer option.
Mm.
They did that a lot back then. Some of them would be like, you get it for free, the upgraded PS5 version, and then some were like, yeah, you gotta pay $10.
Mm.
So I'm not sure if that one was that or not. But anyway, final piece of news is on Xbox's side, they've announced their Game Pass lineup for the rest of August, and it's really good for me.
Oh, okay.
Because 2 of the 3 games that they've announced were on my wish list to begin with.
Oh,
so now I get them for free, or whatever you want
as part of your subscription.
As part of my subscription. Atlas Fallen, which is a third-person open-world action game that apparently has amazing co-op, online co-op. So I've really wanted to try that for a while to see, if that's true. It's one of those games that flew under the radar and got 7s most of the place. Most of reviewers gave it a 7. But then like the after effect of people talking about it, everyone I talked to is like, oh yeah, the game was freaking great. So I want to play that. And then Core Keeper is coming out for it as well. That is a I don't know how I would describe it, like an underground version of Stardew Valley,
Hmm.
kind of. They call it a 2D survival sandbox, craft, build, explore your dynamic world, blah blah blah.
No.
Um, but it's more combat focused. I think it's
Okay.
not like a farming simulator. It's more like you go underground, you make a base, you explore. It's got co-op, you know, so looks really cool. And then the third game is Star Trucker, which is like a truck simulation type of game, but in space.
Cross country Canada, but
Yeah,
galactic.
exactly. I'll try that. I literally try every Game Pass game. If it comes out on Game Pass, I will
Oh,
give
there's
it a
no
shot.
reason not to.
No, it's free. I'll try it. I'll play for half an hour. If you hook me, I'll play it.
Yeah.
So yeah, pretty good rest of the month. I think Atlas Fallen's already out. I have not had time to play it, obviously, but it is on my Xbox. Core Keeper comes out on the 27th, and then Star Trekker comes out on September 3rd. I don't know why it's so late. It's supposed to be in August. But
Yeah, that's weird.
yeah, that's a weird one. And that, as they say, is the news.
All right.
Time to talk about Gamescom.
And there is a lot.
There
How far
is
into this? How what are we doing on time, by the
1
way?
hour 6 minutes.
Already. Wow.
We're okay.
Oh boy.
We're okay.
Okay.
We'll like I said, we're going to streamline this as much as we can.
Yeah.
Anything that's not super relevant, we'll kind of gloss over. But we're gonna talk about everything that we can.
Mm-hmm.
I did remove some things from this show that just blurred right past me.
Yeah.
So if there is something that I don't mention in this,
Yeah, we're not going to be able to cover absolutely everything.
No.
There's been a lot.
there's a lot. So I'm going to go in chronological order here of the stuff that was announced / released / whatever you want to call it as Gamescom went on. So the first thing that was shown off was a game that we already kind of know about, which is Anotria: The Last Song. Comes out on September 19th. This is a Souls-like. I played the demo on PlayStation, I think, and it was pretty good. But it's also
Okay.
Souls-like. So
The market is full of those.
yeah. That's that. If you have anything to say, just cut me off.
Yeah, I've
basically.
got nothing to say about that.
Yeah. The next one was We Harvest Shadows, which
Mm-hmm.
looks really cool. This is out on Steam. There's a demo available now, so I'm gonna try and run it on my laptop. Don't know how much luck I'll have with that. But it is they call it a first-person horror apathy game, something like that. And it's a first-person. You're on a farm. You're running the farm. You're planting crops. It's a kind of a survival-esque game. You're living alone. Apparently, you're like
Maybe they should have called it Shadow Dew Valley.
Yeah, but it's first-person realistic graphics.
Yeah.
But there's a horror element to the game.
Mm-hmm.
There's like creatures and stuff. And I thought it looked really cool, really interesting. I
saw a few seconds of footage of it. I was like, okay, that's cool.
Yeah, he's determined to live alone for some reason. So I think it's probably got a pretty heavy story. I like games like that, so I want to check out the demo. I'm hoping it comes out on consoles if it's any good. But I thought that was really cool. The next one was Roadcraft.
Yes, that's one I'm actually interested in.
Yeah, you like those kind of sim?
Well, I like I have a game called Teardown, which is
I played that. Yeah,
yeah.
It's good.
This kind of looks like the opposite of Teardown in a lot of ways.
Rebuild.
I like the idea of because there's a lot of games where you build stuff, you build bases, you build cities. The build stuff genre has been around for a long time.
Yes.
But I kind of like the idea that this one is wrapped up in a narrative of fixing up a town that's been devastated by a flood.
Yeah.
And it sounds like it's going to have actual characters in it.
Don't know.
So we'll see, but that might be neat. Like having a narrative construction game is kind of novel.
Yeah.
The only thing I can think of that I would even compare to that, I guess is Death Stranding.
Yeah, I wouldn't put it on that level though.
No, not on that level, but you do build stuff in that game. You're building roads and bridges.
I'm cautious about this one because the trailer made it more epic than I think it is. I think it's probably more like a game like
It's probably a little more low key than they
It's
show
probably more
than
like
they present it. Yeah,
the farm simulator version of being a road construction person. That's
maybe.
I
But
don't I mean I don't
the
know.
trailer was interesting. A game
Yeah.
about just like construction equipment got my interest in an industry that's usually about like vampires and
Hmm.
demons and dragons and
Have you played
such. So
Construction Simulator?
no.
It's pretty good. If you like rebuilding stuff, it's kind of cool. But yeah, that game comes out in 2025.
Hmm.
Next one up is Begone Beast. Love the trailer for this one.
I didn't actually see this one. I
This
don't
one's
think.
cool. This is a 4-player cooperative. From what I can tell, either a twin stick shooter or a
I
brawler.
think I think I know. This looks like Steven Universe, the art style, right?
Yeah, it's very cute, very colorful. The characters scream like ah, from these ghosts.
Yeah. Okay, yeah, I have seen this. I have
Yeah,
seen this.
looks really cool. I'm not probably the target audience for games like this because I don't have
Hmm.
3 other people that are going to play this, buy this game and play it with me. If it has AI companions, I'll probably check it out. But
Yeah, it could be cool.
yeah, but it looks really funny, really cool. Love the aesthetic. It's all about demon and ghost hunting and
Hmm.
gorgeous art style. Seems really cool. Enters early access on PC in 2025.
Yeah, it's cute.
Mm-hmm. The next one is, and I don't know how you say it. I don't know how you pronounce it. It's
Do your best.
Cairn? Cairn?
Karen, yes. Oh
Cairn?
yeah, the climbing game.
The
Yeah, that was
climbing
another
game.
one that caught my attention.
Oh, I saw this. I think they showed this off at not E3, but Summer
That
of Gaming
period.
or
Yeah.
whatever you
Yeah,
call
well
it.
this is the first I'd seen of it and I
Oh,
was like, "Oh, that looks like it might be neat."
yeah,
Like a
it
mountain
reminds me of this
climbing
other rock climbing game
simulator.
I played recently. You talk about it. I'm
Oh,
gonna look for it.
I don't have much to say. It's
No,
just, oh, that looks kind of neat. It kind of makes me think of Infamous and how the climbing in that was semi-realistic and that you actually had to have handholds that Cole could reach
hmm
in order to climb up a thing. I preferred the fast-paced just run up the side of the building from
yeah,
Prototype, but because those games are never not going to be compared to one another.
yeah,
But I remember playing Infamous and thinking, I mean, you could make like a non-superhero just parkour game out of this climbing system that they've done. So
yeah.
I look at Karen and I think, okay, yeah, this is kind of what I was thinking of.
I
It
think
might be
Assassin's Creed probably outdid Infamous in terms of its climbing stuff.
well, sure.
But the name started with a Jusant. Jusant was the name of the game I was thinking of.
Oh, okay.
It's very similar to this. It's like a climbing simulator. Basically, to climb, you basically have to hold down like R2 to
Yeah.
use one arm, and then you have to hold that and let go of L2, and then come up. And like you have to be very
Yeah, I've seen games like that.
very in.
There's actually there's a game I've played called I Am Bread
Oh
that
God,
is that. Have you played that?
yeah. Then there's a fish game too. That yeah.
I really liked I Am Bread.
Good lord, those are frustrating games.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
But yeah, Kern looks great. No release date on it. I thought it was a little weird to show it off at this conference because they just showed it off at the Summer of Gaming, and then this one doesn't
Well, it
really.
get more attention. It got my attention because I didn't see
That's
it
true.
Summer Gaming, so
Yeah, no
no
release
harm
window at all.
no harm in double dipping if it gets more eyeballs.
That's true. And we just complained that people shouldn't announce release dates too early, so
Yeah.
let them have their time. It looks
Yep.
great though. The next one is Borderlands 4,
Don't care.
coming out in 2025.
I've got nothing to say. I don't care.
So I'm a huge fan of Borderlands 2.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, and Borderlands 1 was really good too. But Borderlands 3 and the pre-sequel basically did nothing for me. However, the one thing I do want to say about this trailer is stop releasing teaser trailers with just a logo. I'm so over it.
Mm-hmm.
Don't announce a game until you have something to show. That was
Yeah.
nothing. That was
Do
literally
you
nothing.
do you remember? And I remember because I showed it to you years ago. they announced a trilogy of Duke Nukem games, and it was like a 2-minute video of just the
The
logos
logos.
bouncing around
Yeah.
and like key art of Duke shooting the logos.
Yeah.
I thought that was funny, but
It,
two of those games never came out,
oh,
and the one
shocker.
that did sucked.
Well, there
So,
you go. But big waste of time.
yep,
Just like they did with Metroid Prime 4. Like, ooh, hype for a
yeah,
logo. Like, I don't
yeah,
care. Like, that crap makes me mad. I'm like, yay, Borderlands 4 coming in 2025. We'll see.
yeah.
If all you can show me right now is a logo and it's coming out next year, my bet is 2026. But we'll see. I think that was just pure reaction to the movie bombing. That's
Yep,
all that was. They're trying to
yep.
save face. They're like, okay, yeah, the movie sucked, but we got Borderlands 4 coming.
Got another one coming, huh?
So, yeah, I was
With
very,
blood
very
this
annoyed.
time.
Yeah, yeah, I hated that. I was really mad. The next one is Directive 8020, which is a terrible name.
Yeah.
But the cool thing about this is from Supermassive. And it kind of looks like Dead Space-ish.
Mm.
And Supermassive is the guys that made Until Dawn and The Quarry and the Dark Anthology Pictures games, all that stuff. So interesting. Terrible name, but interesting.
Yeah.
I don't know whether this is in line with like more narrative type of a game or if it is a third-person shooter. But I'm intrigued. At least you showed something.
Yeah.
Not just a logo. Coming out in 2025, apparently.
Allegedly.
Allegedly.
As all of this stuff is until it actually comes out.
A lot of allegedly stuff in here for sure. The next was Dying Light 3, I assume. The Beast.
Dying Light something. There's so many of those.
There's only 3 now. There's Dying
Really?
Light, Dying Light 2.
I felt like there was like 5 of them. Maybe I'm thinking.
Oh no,
of
you're
like,
talking about Dead Island.
maybe or
Yeah.
like cross-gen releases or like DLC expansions or something.
Maybe.
I
Yeah,
don't know.
maybe. Yeah, because I know there was a lot of Dead Islands. Dead Island, Riptide, Dead Island.
Mm-hmm.
The stupid one that wasn't even a first-person shooter, Dead Island
Yeah.
2.
Yeah.
Yeah. They showed some gameplay from this early build gameplay. I guess in this one so I love Dying Light and I love Dying Light 2. This one looks like sort of a continuation of Dying Light 2 where the infection has basically become something he can use now.
Oh, okay.
And he's actually like becoming part beast, part zombie. I felt like they didn't really show enough to differentiate it from what Dying Light 2 was, though. They
I'm
showed
sure there's more coming.
Oh, for sure. I thought they could have left off of the trailer with like something really cool. Like, is he gonna
A
have
little
like,
bit of a
supernatural
stronger
powers?
showing wouldn't have hurt. But,
Yeah. Yeah. And no release date or release year, so it's just announced.
Yeah.
Coming whenever. I thought it was a little early to announce this. Dying Light 2 is not old.
Mm.
So maybe this game is further off than we think it is, but
Oh, maybe.
it's interesting that they have gameplay for it though.
Yeah.
The next was Arc Raiders. This was like not a nothing trailer. I guess it's like an online PvP game.
Yeah.
I don't know. No idea. Coming
Cool
2025.
retro style logo though, but
Yeah, it's a cool logo.
yeah. I say that as a graphic designer. Like, if the most interesting thing I can say about your game is that the logo is nice.
Not a good sign.
Yeah. Well,
It was like a cinematic trailer too. So
yeah.
like,
So they'll probably have something of substance to show off within the next year or so. But
yeah. And then I think
for
they said it
now,
was coming in
whatever.
early access, maybe.
I think they might have.
Yeah.
It says that we can't even remember that for sure.
Yeah. Not memorable, guys. They could have done a lot better than that.
Yeah.
That was not.
We'll
great.
see.
Yeah.
Maybe they'll make us eat those words. I hope they do.
I hope they do. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I love to be wrong about pessimism.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Yeah. All I can do is judge you for what you give me.
Yeah. Exactly.
The next up is Path of Exile 2. Has an early access release date of November 15th, 2024. I've had my eye on this one for a long
I saw
time.
that and I was like, oh, this must be the Diablo 4 expansion.
No. Yeah, so this is, well, we could go into a whole thing about that.
Well, until I remember that Diablo 4 doesn't have like the sphere UI with like the health orb and the mana orb.
It doesn't, does it?
Nope.
That's weird. I never even think of it. Wait. Hold on. Does it not? Am I not, did I not notice that?
I'm
Diablo
pretty sure it
4.
doesn't. I say this having not played Diablo 4, having only
Oh,
seen footage of it.
okay.
It might be a thing that's only there in one player mode.
Oh no, it does have it. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
They're there. Yeah. But yeah, we'll we'll have a Diablo 2 or sorry, we'll have a Diablo topic of the week one week where we talk about all four
That's
because
going to be depressing.
some
Well,
of it'll be
no,
good.
the first half of it will be really good, and then the third quarter will be pretty good, but getting towards depressing. And then the fourth
And the
section of
fourth
it will
one's
just
just
be
depressing.
misery.
Yeah. People on the show already know
Yeah, we've talked about
my
Diablo.
distaste for Diablo 4.
Yeah.
Yeah, I really want to. So I've tried Path of Exile 1, and
Hmm.
it's very much Diablo 2 esque in
Yeah.
its like feeling and visual
Why
design
wouldn't
and
it
all.
be? That's a really
Yeah, it
good
was a great
game.
game, but I could never get into it for whatever reason. It just felt old. It didn't feel
Oh
modern.
yeah.
So I'm hoping that this one stays true to that formula, and a lot of the preview stuff looks really good. So I'm hoping that this one sucks me in because this would be great to
Yeah.
replace a
I've
certain
talked
game.
about how I need something to replace the Diablo-shaped hole in my life.
Yeah, me too. Exactly. The next one is King of Meat. This one
Yeah.
looks really cool.
Yeah, I saw that. It looks kind of like a Fall Guys thing, like just a really over the top obstacle course.
Yeah, but it's more like Smash TV. You get
Yeah,
four people in there brawling and trying to survive like an obstacle course. Yeah,
yeah.
it's
Although
really
Smash
cool.
TV has you fighting against computer controlled opponents.
I think you are. I think it's co-op.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's a co-op hack and slash game.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I know it looks like Fall Guys type of game, but no, I think I'm 99% sure that it is a
Yeah,
co-op
I,
hack
I
and
didn't
slash.
see the full trailer for this. I saw it in a sizzle reel, like a
Oh yeah,
YouTube
yeah,
compilation. So I
gotcha.
didn't see a tremendous amount of footage because I was just trying to see as much as I could
Yeah, for
before
sure.
before we recorded this.
Yeah, I went through the torture of watching every trailer.
God,
It was a long
yeah,
afternoon.
yeah,
But yeah, the King of Meat looks cool. No release date on it that I could find.
that's fine.
But yeah,
Take your time.
yeah, yeah, exactly. Take your time. It looks good. I think it'll be cool. Now, here's one that we're gonna have a
Oh, here we
conversation
go.
about. Masters of Albion from
Peter Molyneux.
Peter Molyneux returns. We just talked about him
He's
last week, and he
back.
turns.
So I don't watch the full presentations with like the hosts and stuff. I did mouse through the opening day live thing after it was there, and I saw Jeff Keighley do his little thing for Peter Molyneux. Can I just say, I think we have evolved past a need for Peter Molyneux
Oh yeah, 100%.
because
He's
do
all
we have
hype.
to do we have to explain Peter Molyneux? Because it's been a while. We might have, amongst our 5 listeners,
No
people
young
who are,
person's gonna know who this guy is at this
yeah,
point.
we might have people who don't know. So let's talk about Peter Molyneux real quick. Peter Molyneux is a game designer who is both famous and infamous for the same reason, which is over promising
Overpromising,
and under delivering, but
but his games are still good
the
usually.
games are still good, and
Yeah,
that's the key distinction.
yeah,
Is that even though the games never fully deliver on what he promises, they're good enough that we were willing to look past that.
yeah.
Fable, does it do absolutely everything they said it would? No, but it was pretty good.
Mm,
Black and White, did it do everything they said it would? No,
no,
but it was pretty
but it
good.
was pretty good. Black and White 2 sucked.
Yeah. But so that was the ebb and flow of it for a while, and then he kind of disappeared for a little bit. Well, he had this project called Milo, which didn't come out, didn't go anywhere.
Was that? Yeah, that was the Connect
The
one.
the Connect thing, yeah.
I don't think that was his last one though. I think his last one was Goddess.
Yes, so that was the thing. That was kind of a comeback for him, or an attempt, because he had that
An
app.
attempt.
Yeah, the what was it called? Just the box or something?
Oh
What's in the
yeah,
cube or whatever?
Curiosity. What's inside?
Curiosity, yes,
Yeah.
that was it. What's Curiosity? What's inside the cube?
Mhm.
Where you download the app and you
I
tap on the
played it.
boxes. Yeah, I did too. I wanted to know what was in that fucking box. I was like, is it going to be Gwyneth Paltrow's head? Is that what we're doing? Is this just going to be a big Seven reference?
The prize wasn't even ended up being something that the winner was
It
able
was
to.
like you get to name a god in his upcoming game,
I think
which
it was
came
supposed to be
out.
you. Yeah, you are the god in the
Yeah,
game,
something like
which
that.
was complete
And
nonsense,
then
basically.
Goddess came out and it just disappeared
They bombed,
completely.
yeah. No one
And
cared.
so now he's back again, like Slim Shady, except probably not as successfully. Um,
Definitely not.
I really feel like we're past the point for a need for Peter Molyneux. Like, wishing no disrespect to the
No,
man, he's
legend for
made
sure.
more games than I have,
He's a legend.
and
No doubt
he's
about it.
made some pretty good games. Well, him and his team, of course,
Of
have made
course,
some
yeah,
really
yeah,
good games. He's produced, he's designed some good games. But like this idea of him being a character, right? And which is how Jeff Keighley presented him.
yeah. Mhm.
I really don't like that.
No,
I really don't like that.
the
Oh,
return of Peter Molyneux.
it's the cute, lovable scamp. You all know him, that rascal. He promises all those things and doesn't deliver on all of them. But
Yeah,
the games are pretty good, so we forget. No, 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 no. That's not okay.
not anymore.
Okay,
No.
that's not okay.
It
It's
wasn't
like
really
when
okay back then either. Honestly, I
no,
got sick and tired of it too.
yeah, but it's like when Todd Howard came out on that one. I don't remember if it was an E3 or what, but he joked about how Bethesda games were buggy, and I'm just like, no, Todd, you don't get to joke about that. That's not something that's cute.
No, it's
That
annoying.
sucks.
Yeah,
We hate that, and
yeah,
that's why we make fun of you for it.
yeah.
It's not because we think it's endearing. It's because it fucking
Read
sucks.
the room.
You don't get to turn the Todd Howard memes into your brand. Those are
No.
mocking you.
Yeah,
Okay? You
yeah,
need to fix that shit
yeah,
so that the Todd Howard memes go away. You
yeah.
do not get to embrace them.
Time
That's
for a
not
new
okay.
engine.
Yeah. And I feel exactly the same way about, him, Jeff Keighley trotting Peter Molyneux on stage like that. I just
He,
want him to either actually deliver on what he promises or stop promising so much, which
mm,
technically is the same thing. But
yeah,
like Peter Molyneux can design a good game. He just needs
yeah.
to stop overselling it, and then nobody would have a problem with him.
And I don't know if he's overselling this one. He's kind of trying to, but he's not. He's not. No, he's
Who
not
knows?
fooling anybody.
Who knows?
But yeah, he also made like Dungeon Keeper, Populous, Theme Park.
Yeah, good
Um,
games.
yeah, all good
And
games.
this is the only reason we've not run this man out of town.
Yep. Yes, absolutely. Yeah, Masters of Albion is a mix of a city builder,
And like
god
an
game,
adventure action.
third-person action game.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think it will do well.
It
Name one game that goes, I want to bring this in this genre
this,
together.
yeah. I
They
mean,
don't. They don't look great.
if anybody could make it work, I'm sure him and his team could do it. But
I don't even know who his team is. That's the problem.
he needs to keep his fucking mouth shut
Yeah, he does.
and not overpromise and just spend the time making the game. If he can deliver a game that is exactly what he presents it as and is good, I will be satisfied. I don't ask for much,
Yeah.
It's
We'll
really
see.
it's really not that hard to do, beyond the developing of a game, which is obviously super hard. But I mean, he's shown that he can do that. So
I like the idea of the game.
oh
but
yeah, the idea is
the
great.
footage didn't sell me on it,
The
and neither did his.
ideas have never been Peter's problem.
No, execution's his problem.
Execution has always been the problem. And look, I admire a man with lofty ambitions. I just like him to be able to deliver on them. The thing
100%.
that's interesting, the thing that's interesting about this to me is that he is really trying to make this look like a Fable game.
Oh yeah,
But
you
it's
take the name Albion.
yeah, Albion is a historical name, so
it's not copyrighted.
It's not copyrighted. It's like how when Richard Garriott took a team and made Shroud of the Avatar, they were able to call it Britannia without getting sued by EA, who owns the Ultima trademark, because Britannia is a historical name. He was able to use the name Lord British because that's his nickname. He owns the rights to that. And some other characters who were in Ultima. Those are names, like those are characters created. Those are live action role play characters created by his friends. So they own the rights to those names. But this one looks really Fable-like.
It does.
If he feels like he's kind of
It looks early though too.
Sure.
Looks very early.
But I mean, this could very well be a bloodstained situation where it's, you know, all the stuff that's in the public domain you can just use, and you just fudge the names of some other stuff,
Yeah.
and it's fine. Lawyers are like, yeah, this looks good.
Yeah.
So
Good
we'll
luck,
see.
Peter.
Yeah, good luck.
Good luck.
Please don't fail us.
Yeah.
Or please
Again.
don't lie to us.
Yeah, please don't lie to us. I
Yeah.
hope you make a great game. I hope it sells well.
And I hope it's everything that you tell us it is.
Yeah, I hope it's true. Yeah, exactly. Next up was a very impressive showing for Batman Arkham Shadow, the VR game.
The VR game. Yeah, that did look
MetaQuest 3 exclusive.
which is a terrible idea.
Yeah. I think they probably wanted it to be like
Consistent.
yeah, like they didn't want it to have people buy it. I can't speak. They didn't want to have people buy it on MetaQuest 2 and be like, the quality was kind of choppy.
Have
No,
you
they wanted
seen
it to be
that
like a big thing.
that Riven remake?
I have not.
Yeah. Well, there's a MetaQuest version, and it looks potato mode compared to the real version. The real version looks, honestly, in some cases better than the original Riven, which is tricky because that game used like footage of real people.
Yeah.
and photographs and stuff. So that you've made it look better in some cases is pretty impressive. But only if you get the real version and not the MetaQuest version.
Yeah. This looks great though.
Yeah.
Arkham Shadow looks phenomenal. It's got like the actual Arkham combat in it.
Yep. Looks cool.
Looks really good. I'm not a VR guy.
No.
I want to be.
Yeah.
But it's a very expensive subgenre.
I love the idea of VR, and what little VR I have played has been pretty cool.
Yeah, me too.
But it's the kind of thing that really needs to be cheaper, more accessible,
Yes.
and have
It's way
more
too
than just
expensive.
tech demos and proofs of concept on it.
Oh, it's starting to get there. You know, we got Half-Life Alyx.
And, I mean, hey, a Batman game. That's a pretty big brand.
Yeah, and it's not the Batman Arkham VR we got, what, 8 years ago or whatever on
whatever.
PlayStation, which was good,
Yeah.
but it had no combat. It was like a detective game, basically.
Yeah.
This looks phenomenal. It comes out in October 2024. So for those of you who have a MetaQuest 3, you've got a banger coming by the looks of it.
Should we go straight to another VR game? Because there's another franchise.
I don't have any other VR game on my list. So what is it?
Alien.
Oh, they showed off more of what do they call it?
Rogue
Invasion?
Rogue Invasion, yes. They showed off some xenomorph encounter footage. Looks
terrifying.
Yeah, looks creepy, man.
Yeah.
There's not much to, it was only the video I saw, at least, was only like a minute long, and it was just a few xenomorph encounters, but yeah, it looked pretty good.
I mean, it's a no-brainer to take the concept of isolation and
Absolutely.
make it a VR game.
Yeah.
So, yeah, absolutely. Did they have a release date that you can remember?
No.
No. The next one was Mafia 4: The Old Country.
So is there actually any gameplay of that, or is it just the cinematic teaser?
It's just a cinematic teaser.
Yeah.
And it says more to come in December, which is basically code for more to come at the Game Awards.
Yeah.
So we'll see probably gameplay at the Game Awards. But yeah, another one where it's just like, you could have really just held off.
Yeah.
You know, you didn't need it.
This event was packed enough. You could have maybe gotten like a lot more buzz if you'd
just launched with like a full
or something.
A blowout at Game Awards instead of,
because right now it's just a footnote of like, oh yeah, they announced this.
Yeah, it's like, oh, it's coming, cool.
30 seconds of teaser, pre-rendered footage, whatever.
Yep. My rule applies here to this one that I talked about earlier. Don't give me a cinematic teaser. I hate that crap.
Yeah.
But cool, you know, I actually liked Mafia 3. It was very repetitive, but it's still fun. So yeah, hopefully they've learned from that game. The next one, I'm not much to say on it, but another Sniper Elite game, The Resistance.
Yeah, that was weird. I really like the Sniper Elite games, but I'm not sure
why this one has no 6 in it.
Well, I mean, 5 just came out like last year.
Yep. So why are they releasing another one? And it's
and this is like I guess it's like a spin-off or something. I don't know.
It looks like the same.
Yeah, it doesn't have the usual protagonist.
Oh, okay.
It's I don't know. I don't know what's going on with this,
Very
but
odd.
I like shooting Nazis in the testicles. So
Yeah, that's very fun. Seeing them explode, it's good
I
times.
will pay attention to it.
Yeah, I think I've played 3, 4, and 5. I didn't beat any of them, but I played them because I'm just like, "Ooh, fun."
I've beaten 4 and 5.
Yeah,
Yeah, I've played
I think
three.
five's co-op or four or
Four
both.
is co-op. I've played it co-op before with
Yeah,
another friend. It's pretty fun.
yeah. You don't get the slow mo in co-op though.
You do actually. Both
Ah!
players get to see it, which can be kind of jarring. Which is why
Oh,
I always, when I play it co-op, I try to call out that I'm about to do a shot in case it does
shooting.
that.
Yeah,
Because if you don't call it out, the other person could just be lining up a shot, and then suddenly their entire screen is hijacked by a slow motion exploding testicle skeleton.
do you ever get a silenced sniper rifle in that game?
Yes.
Okay, because I was gonna say because it was really annoying in the
Well,
early game where
in 4 or 5.
either
Yes, you do.
because that was what really kind of turned me off the game is like it's about sniping, but the second I shoot once, everyone's coming at me.
Yeah, you got to time it with something else that's making noise.
Oh yeah, that's right. They teach you to listen for a sound. That's
Yeah,
right.
but there is a rifle that has a silencer. The downside to it is it's got a significantly shorter range than the other rifles.
Eh,
But with the thing that they do, at least if you're playing the game on its quote unquote normal difficulty,
mhm.
they give you that mode where it shows you where the bullet is actually going to land. It gives you that reticle that shows you where to actually aim.
Weird, yeah, because it's gonna fall. Yeah.
Yeah, it's fun to play that
Um,
co-op. If you had a PC that was capable of it, I'd say we should go through it because
is it crossplay?
I don't know.
Well, we'll look into
We
that.
should look into that
Yeah,
because
'cause
that
I
one's a
think I
lot
have
of
4 and
fun.
5. Pretty sure on PS5.
Yeah, I've played 4 a lot. I didn't like 5 as much, but it was still good. I
Mhm.
just like 4 better. 4 is really good.
Yeah, they also make the Zombie Army games too, which are
Yeah, those are a
basically
spin off of those. Yeah.
it's a carbon copy of Sniper Elite just with zombies instead.
Yep. Yep.
Yeah, so Sniper Elite: The Resistance comes out in 2025. Next game was Revenge of the Savage Planet. This came out of nowhere.
Mm-hmm.
This is a sequel to I think it was called Journey to the Savage Planet,
Mm-hmm. I
which was
haven't
a
played
first.
it.
You never played it? I
No.
played a couple hours of it. It's definitely for me. It was a game where I was like, "This is not a good single player game. This is definitely designed as a co-op
Yeah.
experience." There's a
Okay.
lot of humor in it, and there's quite a bit of grinding
Yeah.
materials from what I remember too. And
That
I'm
would
just like,
definitely pass faster with another person.
yeah, I got kind of tired of it pretty quickly, but
Mm-hmm.
the idea of the game and I could see where they were going.
Yeah.
This one's a little different. So this is a third person game, but in the same sort of vein.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know much to say about it because I didn't really play enough of the first one, but it looks really good.
Yeah.
We'll see what happens with it. No release date that I'm aware of. Next one is Dune Awakening, which is the MMO coming out on PC early 2025 and consoles at a later date, not specified.
I gotta be honest, I didn't know that was an MMO.
Yeah, yeah, it's an MMO. Yeah,
Okay. That could be cool.
yeah.
Fighting over the spice? I don't know. I don't think
It,
there'd be a lot of variety for environments, though.
that's what I was thinking. I'm like, this is just a giant desert planet. I don't
Yeah.
know.
Maybe they'll have some underground stuff.
So, so in terms of it being an MMO, I think it's more like, remember PlanetSide?
Yeah.
So I think it's more like that type of MMO where there's like different servers and each server has a max player count
Okay.
and you're in it and you're always in that same server and
Yeah.
everything you can build
Your various
you build
shit.
your bases wherever you want and
Yeah.
they're there in the game.
Yeah.
It's almost like a giant Rust
Mm-hmm.
experience, which is not attractive to me at all. Because you know me, PvP is just not
Yeah.
something I give two rats about. So
Yeah.
if it has a very PVE centric mode in it, and you don't have to deal with PvP players, I would check it out because it's gorgeous
Yeah.
and the gameplay looked pretty fun. But if
Mm-hmm.
it's strictly a PvP type of experience like Rust, then
Not
hard
much there.
pass.
Yeah. Not much there for you.
No. The next one, I don't know how you pronounce it. It's called a Hela or Hela, Hela, coming to PC and console.
I don't think I saw that one. Let me look that up.
This is a game you play as a pair of mice or rats, and you collect. It's like it's very ethereal as to what kind of game it is, but
Oh,
it
yeah.
looks like a survival crafting collecting game where you play as two mice.
So how long do you
Um,
think it'll be before there's a Pinky in the Brain mod?
instantaneously for the PC version at least. Yeah, I thought it looked kind of cute, kind of cool, visually stunning. Don't
Yeah.
know a whole lot about it though. The trailer was kind of just like ambiguous. It was
Yeah, it's mostly cinematic with a little bit of gameplay at the end.
yeah, a little bit of gameplay at the end. Yeah,
Oh, you've got like a frog backpack with a little
yeah,
tongue.
yeah,
Oh,
super
that's
cool.
cute.
Yeah, it's super cute. It stood out to me,
It
for
reminds me of, and this is going to be a pull. It kind of reminds me of Chameleon Twist.
yes, I knew you were gonna say that as soon as you said that. Yeah, with the tongue going,
Yeah.
so cool.
Yeah, that might
Yeah,
be cool.
so we're gonna keep my eye on that one.
Yep.
That one's gonna be
Not even the only rodent-based game that we'll be
on the
talking
list.
about today.
No, definitely not. The next one is Rainbreaker. Terrible trailer, I gotta say.
I
Very
also
generic.
haven't seen this one.
Rainbreaker.
Rainbreaker.
So not rain as in like weather. Rain as in
Oh,
like
okay.
yeah, rain.
It's good that you said that because
Yeah.
I was typing that in.
From what I recall, because a lot of this is blurring together at this point, it is a top-down roguelike
Oh,
with
it kind of looks like Hades, like
yeah, it looks like
artistically.
I think you have like a jousting sword, if it's the one I'm thinking of.
Yeah, yeah. You got a great big lance.
A lance, yes, a lance, yes. And I guess like each run, like the lance changes to
Mm-hmm.
do different attacks and stuff like that. So I thought it looked pretty cool. No release date or any window or anything like that, but I thought it looked cool. Very cool art style. Art style.
Yep.
And I like games like Hades, so cool. The next one was Hurdling.
Oh
Hurdling
yeah,
is
yeah. That looked like it could be kind of neat.
it's from the guys who made Far. The two
Which,
Far. I think there's two Far games.
which I haven't played.
Far something Shores and Far something something. I don't know. They were pretty cool games. Side were they the side scrolling ones? I'm just gonna do a
This
quick
kind of looks like this kind of makes me. It kind of makes me think of
Lone Sales.
what was that? What was that Xbox game? Flocked.
Yes, yeah, with the sheep.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. It kind of looks like that, but in 3D.
Hmm.
It looks like it could be kind of neat.
Yeah, not enough to go on,
Yeah.
but could be good. The guys they made Far are pretty talented. I liked the Far games. Have you seen the Far games at all?
No.
They
No,
made two of them.
I haven't played
It's
them at all.
basically like a side-scrolling. You're always going right game, and you have this giant vehicle that you have to single-handedly manual no man just man each station. So it has like you have to make sure it's gassed up. You have to make sure to do repairs on the ship.
Oh,
Yeah.
kind of like an FTL sort of thing,
Yeah,
but single-handedly.
and it's very narrative. So it's like
Okay.
it's linear. You run into certain obstacles, and it's like sort of puzzly in that regard. You're like, how do I
Oh,
get
like
around this?
like an Oregon Trail kind of thing.
Yeah, you got to get your ship somewhere, and you come across obstacles that you need to find a way to get
Okay.
the ship through.
Okay.
Yeah, very cool games. Very very small, sort of indie.
Yeah.
Experiences.
The only thing that's makes you be a bit trepidatious about this is that this is technically an entire game that's an escort mission.
Yeah, I know. I was thinking that our brains, man,
Yeah.
they're on the same level. I was
This-
thinking that the
thi-
same thing. I'm like,
This is
"Ooh."
why we've been friends for so long.
Yeah, I don't know if I want to do an escort mission the whole time. But
Yeah.
we'll see.
It could be
As long as there's no
difficult,
danger of them dying,
but- Yeah.
maybe that'll be fine.
Or
with
at
that.
least there's like a fast reset,
Yeah,
so you don't have to spend a lot of time in a game over failure screen.
Ashley from Resident Evil 4.
Oh yeah.
Just painful.
At least you could tell her to hide in dumpsters.
Get in that dumpster, you trash.
Or I think it was only in the PS2 version, or at least started in the PS2 version, is you get the suit of armor for her.
Oh yeah, I don't remember that. What
It
if
was
it's in
like
the remake?
It was an unlockable thing.
But yeah, Herdling comes out in 2025. The next one was called Iter, Iter. Um,
It sounds familiar, but I'm trying to.
so you're it had a very satirical, you're working for the company kind of a motif to the trailer. You're basically a dude that's like mining, I guess. It's like I don't know.
Oh yeah, with the cubes.
Yeah,
Yeah. I did see this.
yeah. It looks interesting. I like
Yeah.
games that have like a weird. I don't
Mm-hmm.
even know how you describe it. Like it's just a weird style and a weird approach to the design. It
Yep.
seems interesting. No release
Mm-hmm.
date, no info.
Yep.
We need to know more. Whew. Okay, keep going.
There's a
Next up,
lot.
I saw a lot of Kingdom Come Deliverance 2. Never
Yeah.
played the first one,
Neither did
but heard it
I.
was really good.
I
Did you
heard it
play?
was really buggy at first, and that's why I didn't play it.
Mm, no, I heard it was really good. It's got this weird melee combat,
Mm-hmm.
sword combat kind of thing where you have to like have different stances and twist your sword to block. And
Yeah, the character, at least in the first game, was like a blacksmith's assistant who
yeah, I
was
think so.
tasked with delivering a sword,
Yes.
and then got caught up in this political turmoil.
Hmm.
Yeah, not a bad idea for a story. I
No.
did think it sounded interesting, but I just didn't play it because I heard it was really buggy. It's probably fixed now.
Oh yeah, for sure.
I
I
can
think it's
probably.
free on PS Plus,
Okay.
so I've just never given it. Maybe I should give it a chance. Maybe I'll
Yeah.
do that for the next show. Well,
Okay.
I'll go try that game and report back and
No
see
reason not to
if
if
it's
it's on
on there.
there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, the sequel apparently is like that times 10. It's
Yeah.
way more open ended. One of the preview that I saw, the guy was basically talking about how he made a decision that he didn't really think twice about, and then like half an hour later, he was talking to someone else, and that decision had drastically altered his
Yeah.
reputation with that particular person.
Yeah.
Very cool stuff like that. I like in games.
Mm-hmm.
So
Butterfly effect.
yeah, butterfly effect stuff. Really, I like that. So I'll play the original and report back next week.
Okay.
Next up, they announced it's probably like the worst kept secret in gaming right now, that Civ 7, Civilization 7 was announced, coming out
Yep.
February 11th, 2025. I don't have much to say. I really like Civ 5 is kind of where the series peaked for me. I was like, this is perfect. I don't have any
Dude, I
problems.
never really played past Civilization 2. And
Oh
that's
wow.
not like a slam against the other games. It's just that Civilization 2 was so good. I didn't feel the
Mhm.
need to play any of the others.
Yeah, I would definitely recommend if you're gonna like upgrade or try another one. I would say 5 is the
Mm.
pinnacle for
Okay,
me.
I'll keep that in mind.
A lot of people swear by 6 though, but I just thought it was a little bit. I don't know. There was something about it. It definitely is visually way more stunning than
Sure,
5.
sure. But that's
Yeah.
always the case.
I'm always kind of wondering, like, what are you going to do in the next game that's going to be bigger than this one? Because like
Yeah,
these games are huge.
it seems like you like where do you go with that?
Yeah, you already do the history of the world.
Yeah,
What are you gonna?
you're now doing it for the seventh time.
Yeah, right.
It's like how Koei kept making Romance of the Three Kingdoms games.
Oh my god, our Dynasty Warriors.
Yeah,
Like
which
10.
is a spin-off of Romance of the Three Kingdoms, or
Oh,
Nobunaga's
so it's
Ambition.
like 20 of those games then.
Yeah,
Good
but
lord.
at least Dynasty Warriors is an action game. You know, Romance of the Three Kingdoms is a strategy game.
Mm. Yeah, so Civ 5 next year. I will not be able to play it because there's no way in hell that will run on my laptop.
Mm-hmm.
It's a deep, lots of systems type game.
Yeah.
Next up was Reanimal, which is from the Little Nightmares team.
Yeah, but it's not Little Nightmares 3.
No, so
But there is a Little Nightmares 3. This had me really confused when the Reanimal video showed up. I was like, oh, I guess this is Little Nightmares 3. No,
Yeah.
it's not.
From what I understand, there was some sort of dispute between the Little Nightmares team, the actual Little Nightmares team.
Yeah, you explained that to me a while ago.
Yeah, I don't know if they had a falling out with the publisher or what happened there, but they've switched.
Yeah,
up
they've gone
and,
off on their own.
Yeah, they weren't allowed to bring the Little Nightmares IP with them. That was kept
Which
by,
sucks.
I think Embracer owns the IP, if I remember
Yeah.
correctly. So that doesn't surprise me.
Probably. I just
Um,
assume that it probably is.
Yeah. I'm 90% sure that they
Yeah.
own it. But yeah, this looks like a AAA budget version of Little Nightmares. Looks really good.
Mm-hmm.
Did you play the Little Nightmares games?
No.
Oh man, they're so good. They are excellent games.
Yeah, I really should play them.
Yeah, especially two, but you can't play two without one. This is one of those series where you have to play the first
Okay.
one to play the second one. Whether or not the third one's any good, we'll talk about that later.
Should we just talk about it now?
Sure. Let's see
They
how
also
far
announced
down.
Little Nightmares 3.
They did, and it looks okay.
Yeah.
It looks very okay. No release date or release window that I saw.
I
But
like to think that both teams were at the event and were just like giving each other the stink eye from
right.
opposite ends of the stage.
Yeah, I don't know what happened there, man. I'm hopeful that Little Nightmares 3 will retain, the heart of the first two and will continue the story because the story is just freaking cool. But I really don't know anything about 3. I looked at the trailer obviously, but
Mm-hmm.
it didn't seem it was like it was related to 1 and 2 at all.
Yeah.
So, but that's what we thought about 2. Spoilers. So yeah, Reanimal looks really great. No release date though. No release window. Next up wasn't a game at all. It is Secret Level, an Amazon Prime video game. What I thought was a documentary series, but it's actually like an anthology cartoon
Yeah.
kind of a thing. So it's like a one-off cartoon, animated 3D style, depending on the game
Yeah.
in question. They have a
So
different animation
I want to
style.
explain how I came to learn about this existence. So I saw on Twitter people were talking about there's going to be an Armored Core TV show, and I was like, what?
Oh no,
And then I looked into it, and I was like, are you
nope,
fucking kidding me?
nope.
So if I'm not
Bite-sized.
mistaken, the premise of this it's not about the length. The premise of this is that somebody goes into the world of video games.
Um, I don't think there's like a premise like that. Like I don't think there's like an overarching story. From what I understand, it's. Have you ever seen the Animatrix?
I have.
So or what's that robot? Dead Robot Chicken? Love Robot Chicken?
Oh, love, death, and robots.
Yeah.
And it's from those people.
Oh, well, there you go. So yeah, it's like that where it's each episode is just based on a different
It
thing.
seemed okay. That's interesting because what I was getting from it was that it was a person from the real world
Oh
going into the
God,
video games,
I
and
hope not.
that's because
That would be stupid. Sorry.
what the young people need to understand is there used to be a show called Captain N the Game Master,
Hmm.
and it was not a good show.
No,
And that's what it was. It was basically, let's have him go into the worlds of these Nintendo games, which
it
sounds
was a
cool.
promotional
I mean,
show.
I'm okay with that, but like you say, we're gonna go to Castlevania, and we're gonna see Dracula, and we're gonna see Alucard because Castlevania 3 was the newest one at that point, and Alucard is a fucking punk skateboarding kid.
I will say that the presenter, one of the creators that did the presentation, he got super emotional about revealing it. So clearly, it's a love letter
Sure,
to games.
sure.
So I'm cautiously optimistic, hopeful that it's not what you're saying and that it is just like
Oh,
the
I hope that it'll be better than what I fear it will be,
yeah.
but
If it's like Animatrix where it's just a bunch of
oh
bite-sized
yeah,
cool
sure,
stuff,
that'd be fine.
yeah, that
That'd
would
be
be cool.
fine.
But I again when they first announced it, I was like, oh, it's like a documentary series about all these different video games.
Hmm.
That would be really cool. Oh, it's an animated feature film thing.
Also, did you notice that at least one of the games in that is one of the ones that Amazon publishes?
Which one was that?
The New World
Oh,
game.
is that in there?
Yeah,
That's not surprising. They
that's
gotta
not
they,
surprising,
they
but
gotta.
come on, you're gonna put that on the same level as Mega Man? Give me a
Well,
fucking
the
break,
array
guys.
of games that they picked.
They're all over the
Um,
place, but you know, it's
yeah.
very
So
clearly a situation of, hey, make sure that you do one of our games in there.
yeah, so it says each episode tells a story set in a specific game universe, including both new titles and some of the most classic series of all time. So the list is Pac-Man. I'm not sure how you tell a story in Pac-Man. That's just weird. Warhammer 40,000,
Which isn't even a video game originally. It's a
no, it's not.
tabletop game.
Concord, which clearly this was a Sony. Hey, can you
Yeah.
help us out here, bro?
I
You know?
wonder how much they kicked into the production of that. I
Right.
wonder if they're owned by Sony Pictures, like the production company.
Well, it's from Amazon Studios.
Yeah, but it like are they doing the animation, or is it like a Sony Pictures animation thing? I'm just wondering out loud. Because then that would explain.
Well, I assume it's the Love, Death, and Robot guys are doing it, but I don't know who
Are
they're owned by.
are they
Made.
It doesn't matter. We're just
I'm kind of curious now. Who made
idle
Love, Death, and Robots?
speculation.
It just says it's a team from Tim Miller and David Fincher.
Okay.
So I don't know. Maybe it's not a studio. Maybe it's just like a team that was created.
Oh, put together for this.
Put together by because the robots one was a Netflix one, so maybe it was a team that was created by Netflix, and now these guys have been moved to an Amazon team.
Oh, okay.
Maybe they didn't have like a contract with them with
Okay.
Netflix, so they're just kind of moving around. But yeah, who knows? Yeah, what other games here? Yeah, Concord, Mega Man. You mentioned Unreal Tournament.
Yeah.
I make a show out of that particular Unreal. I can see,
especially with Epic seeming to want to shut down everything Unreal.
Oh, good lord, yeah, Epic. What are you guys doing?
Yeah.
You mentioned New World is in there. Armored Core. You mentioned Spelunky is in there.
Mm-hmm.
Really random. Honor of Kings.
I've never even heard of that.
No clue what that is. Yeah. Sifu.
Probably a mobile game.
Yeah, probably. Sifu, which is a third-person action roguelike. Dungeons and Dragons, which is also not a video game.
Also a tabletop game.
Yeah. The Outer Worlds, which is really interesting. That's kind of a random game to pick.
Is that the Obsidian one?
Yeah.
I always get that mixed up with the Outer Wilds.
Yeah, the Outer Wilds is that weird spherical gravity exploration game.
Yeah.
Crossfire. Why that was picked up? No.
Yeah, that I actually do know about that game. That's like
it's just a shooter, right?
Yeah, apparently it's really popular in parts of like Southeast Asia or something.
That makes more sense. Okay.
Like a very, very popular game in like net cafes, that kind of thing.
Exodus, which is the Mass Effect like that's coming out and not out yet.
Okay.
That was a weird choice too. I don't know where that came from. Again, that's another one where I'm like, how much did you pay to get in this?
Yeah.
And then they don't specifically state God of War,
but Kratos is in there.
But they specifically state PlayStation, which will feature a number of PlayStation games and characters. So
yeah,
what those games are, I'm not sure beyond God of War. I think there was
imagery floating around of Kratos in the modern world.
Yeah.
Which is what which like reinforces the thought that maybe this is a guy going into the game world, and maybe he pulls Kratos out.
Well, we won't have to wait long for it because it comes out this December.
Yeah.
All right. Spent enough time on that. Next game is Inzoi. This is
the
Sims killer.
Yeah, what a timely release for that.
Yeah, from the Krafton studio, which is the PUBG studio. Or PUBG
who picked up Tango? We talked about.
They picked up Tango. Yeah.
Yeah.
I will say that this game might be the most gorgeous character.
They really went into like showing that off.
It's photorealistic at times.
Yeah,
absolutely. And the character creator.
Yeah, they put in a lot of work and they showed that off, which is
mind-boggling.
Cool. Mm-hmm.
Whether the game ends up being any good, I don't know.
Right.
But also, who's going to be able to run this game?
I have no idea.
That's the problem that this game's going to have. You're not going to hit a mass market with a game that requires an RTX 3682. You know what I mean? Like,
does it actually list that in the requirements, or
no? I have no idea.
Oh, okay.
But I mean, like, the game looks gorgeous.
Problem.
It's got to be high specs. That game is insane.
Sure.
But we'll see. No release date.
Crysis sold well, so
that's true. We'll talk about a game that I was going to compare to Crysis later on in this video, actually. Next up was the Xbox Adaptive Joystick.
Yes, that's actually something that I wanted to talk about.
Very cool looking thing.
Yes.
So they already have the adaptive controller out. So this is like
Yep.
an added accessory to that system,
Yep.
I guess.
Yeah, that's really cool.
Mhm.
I like that Microsoft is doing that
Yeah. Yeah,
and
PlayStation's got their own access controller as well.
not pretending that they've got three very real women
Yeah,
who are actually completely fictional, allegedly.
allegedly. Yeah, Nintendo's the only one that doesn't have a
Yeah,
an
although
adaptive system.
um, I think the Switch does let you freely rebind buttons from the
Mm.
system menu, which
Yeah, it
isn't the
does. Yeah, you're right.
same, but it does definitely help because with people who have like physical disabilities, like they have limited fine motor control, and have to be able to just use their thumb for like everything on one side of the controller instead of just the stick, or whatever their
Yeah.
issues are. Just being able to freely rebind buttons like that is a huge deal
Yeah, plus the
because
Joy-Cons come out,
yeah,
and they
a lot
can
of
be
times
turned.
people have to custom make these controllers themselves or
Yeah.
have somebody make them on their behalf, because physical disabilities like that are such a specific thing to each person. Like you can't just say, oh, this person is paralyzed so they need this controller. It's like, well, to what degree are they paralyzed? What kind of movement do they have? What
Yeah.
limbs, even what digits on their hands can they move?
Yeah.
And that dramatically changes what their needs are.
Oh, you know what? I think Gary Stoner, the one that we were talking about that did that article that we spoke about earlier, I think he did the review for the PlayStation 5 Access controller.
Okay.
I'll have to check that. But I think he might be the same guy.
Okay.
But yeah, very cool. Good on Xbox. It's very odd that they would invest in this. Not from a you know from the obvious standpoints, but
Yeah.
just the fact that their hardware's not doing very well.
Yeah.
You
Well,
know.
this the adaptive controller, like the box that it plugs into,
Mhm.
that is not exclusive to Xbox. That also works on Windows.
Oh, okay. Did not know that. That makes sense.
So
Cool.
I assume the adaptive joystick does as
Well,
well
as well.
because
Yeah.
it's built to run with that thing.
Yeah. Makes sense. Okay. Well, then there you go. That makes more
Yeah.
sense. Next up was Dimensionals. This is like I think a card-based roguelite, and it's got like a '90s cartoon aesthetic. And there's a demo out on Steam now.
Oh, okay. I didn't see this.
Yeah, it looks really cool.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know whether my laptop will run it, probably, but I will
This
give it a try.
this looks. I'm looking at the trailer now. It looks kind of like that She-Ra show that came out on Netflix.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's very, very '90s sort of superhero style kind of thing.
I mean, I'm seeing a lot of animation, but not a lot of gameplay. So
Oh, they'll show it. They'll show it. Looks really good though.
I'm just kind of mousing through the.
Oh, it's a very spazzy trailer, so you might just be hit or miss on that. They kind of they interlace between animation and
Oh, okay. I
gameplay.
was looking at the animated trailer. Here's
Oh,
the
okay,
gameplay one.
gotcha.
Okay, yeah. All right.
Yep,
I see what they're doing here. Okay,
yep.
that might be good. That might be cool.
Yeah, I'll check out the demo and report back on that
Yeah.
next week, assuming it runs. The next one is Starship Troopers Extermination, coming out October 11th,
I did
2024.
not see that.
Yeah, so it's like Helldivers,
Well,
unsurprisingly.
Helldivers is like it technically, but
Yeah,
I know what you mean.
this has been basically in development since before Helldivers 2 was even announced.
Oh yeah,
So, yeah, I hope it's good. It's a good
yeah,
hopefully we have two good similar games.
yeah.
I think this one's first person though. I don't think it's third person. I think that might be like the clear difference.
Yeah.
The,
Oh
the trailer
man.
that they showed off was not good though. It was like almost no gameplay.
Yeah, it's all very cinematic.
Yeah, but I'm hoping that turns out well for them.
Yeah.
They're going up against a behemoth right now, but
Yeah.
the behemoth is injured. You know,
And is
they're not
based
doing well.
effectively on your property.
Yeah, exactly.
So you never know.
I don't have much to say about this one. I don't know if you do either, but Stalker 2 coming November
Oh, I have a
2024.
lot to say about Stalker 2, but
Go for it, because I have
no. Because if I talked about it, we would be here for
Okay.
like the rest of the night.
So we're skipping.
Yeah,
Okay.
I fucking love Stalker. I mean we've talked about
We've talked
Stalker
about
2
it before.
before.
Yeah.
I fucking love the Stalker games, and I'm really looking forward to this one.
They say they are confident that they will hit November. So
Yeah.
fingers crossed.
Mm-hmm.
Next up was Overthrown. This is a up to 4-player co-op survival crafting game, but it's third person, and you have this like magical crown that you put on your head, and it lets you lift buildings to move them around and do all sorts of like crazy attacks.
Did I see this?
I don't know.
I don't remember if I saw this.
Looks pretty
Oh,
cool.
yeah, I think I saw this.
It's
yeah.
a little bland as far as the environments go. They need to work on that. But
it kind of looks like they crossed Minecraft with Tears of the Kingdom.
yeah, that's a good way of putting it. Could be good.
Yeah, could be good.
No release date or release info.
Yeah.
Next up is Wild Bastards. This one's been on my radar for a while. September 12th, 2024. So it's like 2 weeks away. 3 weeks away, something like that.
I've never heard of this.
If I remember correctly, and again, I've been following this one for a while, but my brain is so fried from so many games being exposed to my brain. I think this is the first-person shooter roguelite.
Yeah. Nice graphics.
Oh, the visual style is just gorgeous. Yes, it is. That's the one I'm thinking of.
Yeah.
It kind of reminds me of Forgive Me, Father, I think is the name of the game. But yeah,
I could probably get into something like this.
Yeah, gorgeous cartoon art style. It's a roguelike. Roguelite, I think. Play different characters. Like, I'm on board for this one, man. It's right around the corner.
I really like games with aggressive cell shading.
Oh, it's just gorgeous. It's beautiful. Props to the art people over there.
Yeah, for sure.
I don't have much to say about this next one. It's called Will Follow the Light. Coming out in 2025. It's like a narrative first-person psychological thriller, I think. So there was another trailer that's kind of ambiguous as to like what the story is. But it looked pretty cool. Kind of creepy.
Yeah, sort of puzzly.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess it kind of looks like a. Well, I mean, we talked about Riven earlier.
Yeah, I was gonna say like a Myst, like
kind of looks like a Myst sort of thing.
Yeah,
but in full real time 3D and not just a slideshow of pictures.
Yes, yeah. I've been trying to convince myself and a friend of mine who's a really good puzzle person to play the remake of Myst.
Yeah, I have that. I've played a little bit of it. I mean, it's Myst.
I mean, it's difficult as hell.
It's Myst, but in real
3D.
time. So,
Okay. The next you mentioned to me earlier, this is the game that made me laugh. Mars Attacks.
Yeah.
Where the hell did this one come from?
I have no idea.
Who in 2024 was like, it was a good property?
Yeah, we need to hit up that
Mars Attacks.
1996 box office classic Mars Attacks.
And I think it bombed, didn't it?
I don't think it bombed,
no?
but I don't think it did as well as they needed it to. Yeah.
So this is Mars Attacks. Just to clarify,
it is a theme park builder game.
Yeah, it's a theme park builder
based on the Mars Attacks franchise.
Yeah,
where I guess you're the Martians and you've abducted humans to make an Earth themed theme park.
I was watching the trailer and I'm like, where is this going? Because they had the space dude and there was like a roller coaster in the background. I'm like, where is this? And then it just slowly zooms out.
And it shows the Martian.
Yeah, he just turns to you.
And you're like, whoa, hey, haven't seen you guys in a while.
So crazy. Yeah. I don't know how good the game will be.
Yeah.
But it comes out next year.
I almost don't care.
Yeah, I just want to see what this is all about.
Just the concept alone is amusing.
Just crazy. Yeah. 2025. Yeah.
I'm really happy that we can have something like that.
Right? Mars Attacks. So funny.
Another game built entirely on the pun.
Yep. So good. Okay. Next one up, I saw a little bit of gameplay for Crimson Desert, which is the MMO sequel to the MMO Black Desert.
Oh, okay.
And this game doesn't look like an MMO. It looks like a third-person action game.
Black Desert Online is a third-person action game, but also an MMO.
Yeah. Crazy. It looks like a single-player game.
Yep.
Very impressive. Gonna keep my eye on Crimson Desert for sure. I think I remember playing or at least trying Black Desert, and I was like, yeah, this feels like every other MMO. I don't really give two craps about this. But Crimson Desert, visually stunning. It's got that it's got good combat from it just looks
Yeah,
good.
it looks like it would be pretty cool to play.
Couldn't find a release date for it,
Yeah.
but it's been announced for a while, so I can't be that far off. But we'll see. Okay, working our way through Maui the Shapeshifter. This is a side-scrolling 2D Metroidvania where you play as the demigod Maui.
Oh, okay.
From if you've seen Moana, you know.
Oh, I have two nieces. I've seen
Yeah,
Moana a lot.
it is not based on the Disney property
No,
though.
it's
It's
not
its
based on
own.
the Disney property.
Yeah,
It's
so
based on the mythological figure.
yeah, very cute art style.
Yep.
You got me hooked with Metroidvania. You know,
Yeah.
if it's good, I'll play it.
Yep.
No release date. Next up was Retrieval. I didn't really get this trailer, but it's built on the Unreal Engine, which looks like it's not the typical Unreal Engine 4 logo. So I'm assuming it's Unreal Engine 5.
Probably.
It looks pretty, but I don't really get I don't get it. Like I don't understand what it is. So I don't have much to say.
Yeah,
No
it
release
looks
date.
kind of. I mean, it looks a little bit Dead Spacey, but this is
I think it's first person.
It's
isn't
like
it?
this is a cinematic trailer, so
Yeah. It's another one of those things where I'm like,
it could just be the vibe. And of course, by Dead Spacey, I also mean Aliensy, because that's where Dead Space gets a lot of its visual
Dead
language
Space.
from.
It's like space horror.
Yeah,
Kind of what it seems like. But I don't know. Sometimes I just want to talk to not the developers, but like the trailer creators and be like, what was your goal with this trailer? Because I don't. This is one of those ones that just was a miss for me, where I'm like, I don't know what it is.
It could honestly be anything.
Could be anything. So I don't know. It's frustrating. It's like this is your moment to debut your game. Yeah. Next up was Spirit of the Samurai, coming out in fall 2024. I had no idea about this game at all, but it has like a claymation / Jason and the Argonauts type of visual style.
Oh yeah,
it looks gorgeous. Like, this is cool.
Yeah,
don't know if the game will be any good, but it's visually stunning.
Yeah,
very unique. We don't have to wait long apparently. So just wanted to keep an eye on.
That might be neat.
Yeah. Next up was Worshippers of Cthulhu. This is a city builder where you are a worshipper of Cthulhu. Very dark game. Very dark game. Sacrificing people and you know all about
tattooing like shit on the
Lovecraft. Right?
Yeah.
If you like Lovecraft, then looks up your alley.
Yeah, it opens the trailer I'm looking at opens with a naked woman
getting her scarred back.
Yeah, and it's like connect the dots.
Yeah,
it's like you gotta carve the symbol in as like a mini game.
Yeah, pretty nasty.
Oh man.
But yeah, it's a city builder of some kind. Yeah.
Shouldn't it be like a city devourer?
Ooh. His tentacles come up at some point.
I was on that as I was saying that. Yeah, so I guess it's like black and white, but you don't have the option of a good route. It's just the evil route all the time.
It's the evil only. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's coming out on Steam. No release date.
It actually says it does have a release date here.
Oh, what's the release date?
October 21st, 2024.
Oh, nice. Not far away then. Cool.
Yeah.
I did not get that. Next up is Echoes of Mistralia. I'll have to remind myself what this one is. We're getting so deep.
Yeah, I hadn't seen this one.
Well, this is another one that looks like Hades.
Okay.
Same gorgeous art style, top down.
Yeah.
Roguelike again.
Yep.
A lot of Hades likes starting to pop up. Unsurprisingly, you know, it's been long enough for that game to have influenced many others at this point. Next up is Croak, which is basically a Hollow Knight, a Hollow Knight like, but with like a cute, colorful art style,
and like a frog.
You play as a frog, and your tongue can reach out and pull you towards walls.
Yeah, you're like cartoon king of the frogs.
Yep,
dude. Yeah,
You're there to save your kingdom.
Mm-hmm.
Cool idea. I like it.
Yep. And the tongue is like a grappling hook kind of thing.
Exactly. Yep.
Yeah.
No release date that I'm aware of. The next one we've talked about before on this show, Black State made another showing. This is the one that kind of looks like Metal
Oh
Gear Solid
yeah. Yeah.
in the Unreal 5 engine. Still no release date or release window or anything like that. But it's looking it might be the most visually stunning game I've ever seen.
I mean, for now.
For now, it looks
That
gorgeous.
title never stays for long. But yeah, I
No,
mean I'm looking at this
him on the
IGN.
boat.
He's in a museum,
Oh,
and
he's in the boat. Okay, yeah.
oh my
He starts
god.
up on the deck of like a
Yeah, I just clicked through it. I think
carrier.
this is just like a showcase for
Mm,
for their rendering. But yeah, I mean, it looks like he's running through just video footage of a real
right?
museum. It
Stunning.
looks really good.
It does. Yeah. Still don't really know anything about that game, but that is the game I was going to compare to Crisis. That's like the current Crisis.
Yeah.
You know. Next up is Life is Strange Double Exposure, coming out this fall, 2024. We've talked about this on the show before because it was announced at Summer of Gaming. I don't really have much to say other than it looks very, very, very pretty.
I've never played any of those.
Very good games. I've really only played to finish the first one, so I would recommend the first one. But I didn't play Life is Strange 2 or Spirit, or Captain Spirit, I think was another one. And then True Colors was another one. But apparently they were all good. But Life is Strange 1 is definitely like, the kingpin. Next up we saw Fragpunk. We saw this at Summer of Gaming as well. This is the first person, another 5v5 or 4v4 multiplayer game, but the twist in this one is that you get cards that drastically affect the game world that you're in, or it drastically affects you as a player.
Yeah.
Looks really cool, but they announced that the closed beta will start in October. So that one's not too far away.
I don't really care about hero shooters.
It's not. I think it's more like Counter-Strike, but with like cards.
I also don't care about Counter-Strike.
Oh, there you go. Fair enough. Yeah, I'm not. I usually like if these are free to play games, I usually like jump in, try it, and then I'm like, nope.
Yeah,
it's kind of how it goes most of the time. The next is I don't have a lot to say about this one. It had like a 20-minute demo, and I just didn't have the time to watch it all. But Redacted from Striking Distance Studios. These are the guys that made Callisto Protocol.
Okay.
I'm trying to remember what type of game it is, but I honestly don't know.
It also looks like Hades.
Oh, well.
I'm sensing a theme.
Right. Yeah, there it is. Yeah, an fast action isometric roguelike.
It just looks like a sci-fi Hades.
Yeah. Oh, it's based on the Callisto Protocol universe.
Okay.
So it takes place at Black Iron Prison, which is where Callisto Protocol.
I never played it.
Highly recommend it if you like Dead Space. It's, in my opinion, better. Which is probably pretty controversial because most people...
Yeah, I heard a lot of people said that Callisto Protocol wasn't as good as Dead Space.
Yep, nope, I'm on the other camp because I played Dead Space Remake and Callisto Protocol back to back, and I was like, yeah, Dead Space Remake's fantastic. It really remakes the original, like, one for one, and improves upon some things. But Callisto Protocol's better.
That was also a game that didn't really need a remake.
Well, did you like the original though?
I actually didn't play the original.
Oh, well, I would play the remake.
I have played the remake though.
Oh, you played it? You beat it?
No, my sister has it, and I've played it at her place when visiting for a little bit. And, it's fine. It's space Resident Evil 4. It's,
it
cool.
definitely is a space Resident Evil 4. Yeah. We're getting through them. We're almost done. Little Nightmares 3 we've talked about.
Yeah.
Towerborn.
Towerborn.
I don't have a lot to say about this one, but it is in my news. Because it was originally announced as simultaneously releasing on Xbox and PC, but now it is a limited time exclusive on Steam.
Interesting.
Not sure why that changed.
Yeah, especially because it's
very much a console type looking game.
Yeah.
I don't know why you would lock it to Steam.
Yeah, that is odd.
But yeah, that's pissed off quite a few people. So
I mean,
yeah.
how long is the exclusivity?
Well,
Like, is it like when Sonic Heroes launched a month early on the GameCube,
it does
or
not say.
or
It
is it like Final
says
Fantasy 16 that's only just coming to PC now?
so. It says Steam Early Access begins on September 10th. An Xbox Game Preview release will follow with a full now free to play launch planned for 2025.
That's
So
probably
at least
fine.
3 or 4 months.
That's not too long.
So I don't know.
People are
Kind of.
making a mountain out of a molehill.
I don't know why you would ever. Hey, hi Dante. He's of course awake now.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, that one's pissed off quite a few people. It looks fun though. It's basically like it looks like Castle Crashers with like RPG mechanics.
Yeah.
So could be
Yeah.
good. Next up is they showed more of Indiana Jones and the Great Circle.
Yeah. Yeah. I gotta say, I'm really not feeling Troy Baker as the voice of Indiana Jones.
eh, I'm not feeling the game. So I'm giving them the benefit of the doubt because their games are the people that make that game is okay. Machine Games makes Indiana Jones.
Mm-hmm.
They make the Wolfenstein games,
Mm-hmm.
and they are very popular.
Mm.
They're apparently very good.
Yeah, I've
I've
played a
never
lot of their
really,
games.
yeah, I've never really played or cared much about the Wolfenstein remake games. I played a little bit of all of them and never got hooked to any of them.
Well, they also handled new episodes for the Quake and Quake 2 remasters, which were very good.
Yeah, I definitely think that their quality bar is high.
Yeah.
But I don't know if their style of game is for me, and I can't imagine them not bringing over some of the elements of Wolfenstein to Indiana Jones.
I think that a first-person Indiana Jones game is a weird choice.
Yeah, I
Because
agree. It should have been
it's
third person.
it's based on a movie franchise. You want to see the character just like you see him in the movie.
Maybe they like want you to like look in a mirror and be like, "Oh, look, I'm."
Oh, maybe that's
But it's also they've got like a lot of cinematics in there where you're
yeah.
not in first person, which is
But
also a
I
weird
just
decision.
like I want to see like I want to be able to make those epic shots of Indy standing in front of a great ruin and have like that wow cool. I don't know. First person seems like a weird choice, especially when they've very 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 clearly got the license for Harrison Ford's
Yeah, I
face.
know. I'm like,
Wouldn't you want to show that off as much as possible?
I don't
And that's
understand why they have his likeness but not his voice.
yeah, and that's what bothers me. Like if you couldn't afford to get Harrison Ford, that's fine. You could surely find somebody who does a better Harrison Ford impression
Yeah,
than
and
Troy
if
Baker.
you were not gonna get that, then
Maybe just
don't make him look like him.
maybe just a different yeah. Maybe
Yeah,
maybe
it's
this
a
could be a
different
really
style.
young Indiana Jones, like in his
Yeah,
20s or something. You know, I just
yeah,
'cause, they've had voice acting in Indiana Jones games before, like Indiana Jones and the Fate of Atlantis, which is a point and click
yep,
adventure game,
yep.
and they don't have Harrison Ford doing the voice in there.
Nope.
But the guy they do have, I don't know his name off the top of my head.
Harrison likes.
He's close enough that you can
Yep,
kind of buy it.
yep.
But Troy Baker just doesn't sound like Troy Baker. You know, he's a fine actor, but he doesn't sound anything like
He,
Harrison Ford. And if you're going to have Harrison Ford's face, I expect something that sounds like Harrison Ford to be coming out of it.
Troy Baker was a voice in another game that was at the show, and I don't
I mean,
remember what it was.
he's in fucking everything.
Yeah, he really is in everything.
You know
But
you know what they could do? Maybe they could get Mark Hamill to do the voice because he does a good Harrison Ford impression.
yeah, he does actually. Yeah, it's true.
That'd be fun.
But I mean, if you're gonna pay Mark Hamill to do it, then just pay Harrison Ford to do it himself.
Yeah.
Jeez. But yeah, the big thing about Indiana Jones is that they've announced a release date finally, so December 9th, 2024. So which is
The
kind of
title
weird.
is awful. The Great
Great Circle. Oh,
Come
stupid.
on.
Yeah, it is
You
terrible.
can do better than that.
But the bigger news beside the release date is that it's also coming to PS5 in spring of 2025.
Yes.
So it is
Instead
multi-platform.
of being exclusive to Xbox.
Buckle up, Xbox fans! More and more of your games are coming to PlayStation.
Yeah. And then more and more PlayStation games are coming to PC. It's just all going around.
Yeah. Yeah.
I still can't believe they're putting out MLB The Show on the Switch. That's such a weird thing to do.
Well, I mean, I think the MLB kind of forced their hand in that. They were like, you know
Yeah,
what,
but
you need to get this out
seeing a
there.
PlayStation logo
Oh,
on
it is weird.
in a Nintendo Direct, that was
Yep.
bizarre. That was almost on the level of like seeing Sonic
Dude,
released for
I
the
turned on my
GameCube.
Xbox and played it with a PlayStation logo coming up. That was freaking weird. That was strange. Couldn't believe that. Um, yeah, so that's it's all about indie. Yeah, my hype level for indie is like pretty low, but maybe they'll blow away my expectations. Who knows?
Who knows?
And I get it
I
for free because it's on Game Pass.
I'd be happy for it to be great.
Yep. So I'll be able to report back in December. Only a few left, I promise.
How
They
far are
showed
we
off.
into this?
We only have 5 left.
No, I mean like time wise.
Oh, 225.
Okay,
Not terrible.
not
We're
terrible.
under. Greedfall 2, they showed off. Early access is entered September 24th, 2024. Did you play Greedfall 1?
No.
Yeah, I played it and was like, why do these guys keep making such huge games?
Mm.
I don't. They must sell well enough, but I don't understand. Like, are we that desperate for open world, sophisticated Dragon Age type RPGs that we're getting this kind of quality?
I
Like,
don't know.
it's very like, I wouldn't even call it double A. I'd call it like B. Like, it's fine, but it does nothing like amazing. It does. It's
Mm.
just fine. Anyway, yeah. Then that studio keeps making big games. It's very strange. Next up is Constance. This is another Hollow Knight like.
I haven't seen this one.
This one looks really good. Demo available now on Steam. Play that one as well. Maybe it's on PC, so I don't know.
Let me take a look at this.
But it's a Hollow Knight like. Looks good.
Oh yeah, holy shit, it is.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Just like Croak, very similar.
Yeah. Man, Silksong is getting its lunch eaten.
Yeah. All these other games coming out first, and you can't even. I've said enough about Silksong. That game can come out whenever
we
it
really
decides
got
to.
it. We really got to stump dumping on Silksong. I'm sure
Yeah.
they're working hard. They don't deserve our crap.
Yeah. Last 3, Mirthwood. We've talked about Mirthwood before on the show. It's sort of a city simulation.
Really depressing looking game.
Yeah, very depressing looking game. Comes out September 11th, 2024. So it's actually coming out a lot sooner than we thought.
Okay.
Only like 2 weeks away. They showed off a lot of Avowed, which is coming out in February 2025.
Oh,
And,
okay.
this is the game that really started off looking kind of, what are they doing? It's the Skyrim. It's Obsidian's Skyrim, but on the scale of the Outer Worlds.
Yeah.
And it hasn't looked good, and it just kind of slowly has been looking better and better and better and better.
Yeah.
Each time they show it. And now it seems to be at the point where like I'm on media blackout. I don't want to know more. I'm good.
Okay.
I'm gonna go media blackout, and I'm gonna wait because I get it for free on Game Pass. So I'm just gonna wait.
Yeah.
It's only 5 months away. I can wait. So yeah, I don't have much to say about it other than it's looking like it's gonna turn out really well. And then the final game was maybe one of my favorites of the show. It's called Spine.
Okay.
Kind of looks like Sifu, but with a girl. It looks
you
gorgeous.
actually didn't have a game in your list that I wanted to talk about, at least briefly.
Oh.
This looks like it could be okay. Like martial arts and
Pretty
stuff.
amazing animation in that
Yeah.
trailer.
Yep.
Looks really good. Great trailer. Showed off exactly what the game is. That is your example of how to show off your game for the first time.
Yep.
Blow me away. You know, do what you tell me what it is.
Yeah.
I know what it is. You know.
Good.
That is all I have. Holy cramoly. Do you have any I missed, sir?
Yes. Kong Survivor Instinct.
Oh my God.
I want you to look that up real quick.
I have seen that. It was announced before Gamescom.
Oh, okay. This is the first I've heard of it.
Gotcha.
This game looks like fucking Shadow Complex.
It does look like Shadow Complex with King Kong.
It looks exactly like Shadow Complex.
Yeah.
From the Xbox 360.
And I wouldn't even say in a good way because that game's old and this game looks old.
Well, I mean, quality-wise, it looks better. It's more detailed, but
Yeah. It,
gameplay wise, I mean, it looks. It's kind of a weird choice to have a game like this be a side-scrolling Metroid clone. But
yeah.
whatever. It
It
might be cool.
at first I thought it was like a sequel to This War of Mine. I don't know if you ever
Oh
played that,
yeah.
but that's kind of
Oh
what it looked like. And then I'm like,
yeah.
wait, why is there bugs?
Why is there color?
Why is there color?
Why are
What
there no
is
starving children?
why is there a giant creature there? Oh look, it's King Kong. Was there anything else? Any other ones I missed?
No, that was just well. I mean, there's like a new Monster Hunter game, but
Oh
that's
yeah, Monster Hunter Wilds.
you
Yeah.
know, there's the Squid game, but the
Yeah.
the whole I really hate how Netflix is monetizing that. I mean, obviously they're going to, but
Yeah.
the whole point is that you're not supposed to think the Squid Game is cool. You're supposed to think this is fucking horrifying.
Yeah.
So let's
Now
let's
it's
make
cool. It's fun.
let's make a video game. Let's make a real life Squid Game show.
Yep.
Like just
Yeah, that bombed, I think, if I remember correctly. The game
did
show
it
one.
it did it come out?
I think so.
Uh, there's Marvel Rivals, which
That actually
I
looks good. Apparently people are like talking that up and being like, this is
I
gonna beat Concord.
I guess,
Not
but
a good sign.
it just looks like the Avengers game, just not
Oh no, it's
impressing.
it's like Overwatch.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Oh, and I'm even less interested.
Well, yeah, you won't care at all. It's Overwatch. It's 5-on-5, but you pick
Yeah,
Marvel characters.
yeah. Like
Um,
I said, new Monster Hunter game. I've never really been able to get into the Monster Hunter games.
Me either.
They're so complex
They are. Yeah, I've
that
never
I
gone
just
into them
I just
either.
want to slay monsters, man. I don't want to spend an hour in the menu doing all this
If you
shit.
want to get into that universe, my suggestion would be to play Monster Hunter Stories 2.
Jesus, that's what is that even for?
Everything. I think it's for everything. Um, it's a turn-based.
Oh, but then that's not even.
No, it's not. It's like I said. If you want to get into the lore,
I don't give a shit about the lore. I just
okay,
want to climb on monsters and stab them in the back
okay.
or
Well then,
whatever.
the only game I can think of that might come close would be Dragon's Dogma.
Yeah, and I've already played that.
What about the second one?
No, I haven't. I haven't
No.
played that.
I'm waiting for them to do a 60 frames per second patch on that.
I'm
Until it
waiting for
does, I'm
them
not playing
to
it.
release that game at not the price that it was released at, because
Yeah,
from
that
what I
too.
saw, it's just more Dragon's Dogma, which
Yeah, it
is
is.
fine, but I don't want to pay full price if it's just going to be the first one but more.
But more and more pretty. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right then.
And I
I
think I
I think
think that's everything I have. I mean, I guess there's the Black Ops 6 campaign, but I don't
yeah.
give a fuck about
Yeah, I
that.
skipped over a bunch of the big
Yeah.
ones that we already have talked about previously and mentioned, like Assassin's Creed.
And I'm racking my brain trying to think of anything. Oh, there is one more that I want to talk about. Squirrel with a Gun,
Oh,
which is exactly what it sounds like. You're a squirrel and you have a gun.
it's a streamer game for sure.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
It might be fun. Oh no, there is actually another thing I want to talk about. There's this game, Commandos Origins,
It's
that
a
looks
remake of Commandos 1. Yeah.
yeah, it looks like cannon fodder, if you remember that.
No.
Oh,
I
that
I
was
do know what game you're talking about though. I've
yeah,
played it's kind of like Desperados and shoot.
top-down mouse-driven game where you take control of a squad of soldiers.
Yeah, and you have to move them around and strategically place them and
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
It's never been my genre. I've always tried to get into it and it's I don't know. I always get frustrated when someone does something that I'm like,
That you
no,
don't
no.
mean to, and it fucks up
Yeah.
everything.
Then I'm
Yeah,
like, oh, now I just want to restart it
yeah.
now. You know?
Cannon fodder has the benefit of doing things satirically and comedically.
Mm.
So at least like when stuff fucks up, it's usually funny in a very dark kind of way.
I like the idea of those games, but I don't like. I'd rather be
Yeah,
one person instead of a squad for that kind of a game.
yeah. What is this Phantom Blade Zero? Oh, I can't watch it because it wants me to sign in to confirm my age.
Yeah, I didn't see it at the show, but yeah, that's a I don't know what to describe it as. It's kind of Ninja Gaiden-esque.
Okay.
It looks good, but it's by a really tiny developer.
Mm,
They went from making mobile games to this giant like AAA thing, so
yeah.
I'm a little cautious on that one.
Yeah, I'm not. I guess there's a gameplay showing of Silent Hill 2 remake, but
I've
uh,
lost all hope for that game.
I don't like. I think that people are being overly negative on
They
it, but
are for
at the
sure.
same time, I don't think Silent Hill 2 needs a remake.
I
I
mean, if
think
you let the RE guys do a remake of Silent Hill 2, that game would be
uh,
freaking gorgeous
I
and just
guess,
amazing.
but like the Silent Hill 2 is such an accidentally great game. I mean, not entirely accidentally, but like there's a I don't know if you know the story about the guy who does the voice of James, but there's a whole thing with him. And it was just a very weird situation with how he got the job and ended up like kind of coincidentally being the perfect person for the part.
Mm.
Apparently the little girl who voiced the little girl in the game, I forget her name, is his real life daughter.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah. Um I don't know, man. I kind of feel like Silent Hill 2 is perfect as it is, even with its graphics. It's such a perfect time capsule of that era.
I
Like
never played the Silent Hill games, so
oh
I'm
really?
yeah.
I'll have to
I
loan
was
you
always a
Silent
Resident
Hill
Evil guy.
2.
Yeah,
Oh,
no, I
okay.
was a Resident Evil guy, and I always saw Silent Hill as like a poor man's Resident Evil, so I never tried them.
No.
They're not. They're very different. I know.
No,
Like
they're
I've
very different.
seen gameplay, and like I get it. They're more psychological type horror games
Yeah,
than like combat centric.
I gotta let you borrow. Do you have a PS2 hooked up?
No,
No.
I do not.
Maybe I have to loan you my PS2 as well.
Don't bother because the remake will probably come out for free on PS Plus or Game Pass.
Yeah, but you gotta see what I'm talking about specifically about the original. It's just really emblematic of that time. It's like MGS2. It's
Yeah,
era defining.
for
And
sure.
I don't know that I'd want to see a remake of it. So even though I don't want to be down on Bloober Team for it, I'm just like to me it wouldn't matter who's making it. I I
I
don't
have
think it
nothing against Bloober Team, just to be clear, because I really like oh what's their horror franchise? It's the
I fucking
Painters
forget
game,
cuz I didn't play it
Layers
either.
of Fear.
Um
Layers of Fear.
I just I like also there's also the fact that like not a lot of the Silent Hills that have come out of like the non-Japanese Silent Hill team have been great.
Mm.
Silent Hill Origins was okay, and Shattered Memories is actually pretty good, but that's also like a remake of the original, and also a remake that takes it in a completely different direction. It's good, but it's good for a different reason, and it also really relies on you having played the first game to appreciate what it does. So it's kind of like an extension of it.
At the time, people loved The Room, but I don't think it's aged well.
Yeah, that's a weird one because that didn't start out as a Silent Hill game,
Oh,
and it was tied into it
do you
later
see
on
how
in
do
development.
you see how my opinion has been formed? Like the Silent Hill series is basically one game, Silent Hill
Mm.
2.
Yeah,
The
I
rest are
mean,
kind of just a mishmash of,
yeah, I mean
you know,
that's not inaccurate. Silent Hill 2 is the big one.
yeah.
It's the best one.
Mhm.
Silent Hill Downpour was like okay gameplay wise, but I didn't find myself very enthralled
You're
in the
not selling
story.
me.
Well, I'm not trying to sell you on the American made ones.
I did play the free game that came out recently.
I don't even know what that is.
The short message.
Oh yeah,
It
yeah,
was scary,
yeah.
but it was just a first person. What did they call those games back in the day? Walking simulators
Yeah, yeah. And
or running simulators.
then there was Silent Hill Homecoming, and we don't talk about
We don't.
that.
Yeah, apparently that was really bad.
Everything
Yeah.
you could do wrong with a Silent Hill game.
All right. Well, that is Gamescom
Jesus,
2024.
that's a
Big
lot of games.
big show, and that's without PlayStation and Nintendo even being there. By the
Yeah,
way,
and we didn't even go through absolutely everything
no, there was
because
far
we'd
more.
be here for another hour,
Yeah,
and it's fuck God.
we might still be here for another hour, depending on what you
Oh
do
God.
in this episode's edition
Uh,
of
20
20
questions.
questions. Video game 20 questions. I have picked a game for you, sir. There is a normal mode and a hard mode, so you can choose hard mode if you want to. But I have
Uh,
normal mode loaded up because I figured that's what you would go for.
yeah, I'm gonna go with normal mode until I get one of them, and then
Yeah,
maybe I'll try
probably a good
hard
idea. We're both
mode.
zero,
Yeah,
zero for zero, zero for
yeah,
one, I guess. So this is round two for you.
yeah.
Let the questioning
Well, I'm gonna
begin.
start as always with trying to pin down the date. Did this come out on or after January 1st, 2000?
Yes.
All right, after 2000. It'd probably help if I spelled January correctly. But I also know what I mean, so
Yes.
it can be
You just do
January.
Jan.
Yeah. Um okay, and next try to narrow it down even more. On or after January 1st, 2010.
Yes.
Okay. Jesus, should I go for it? Should I say 2020? I probably should. On or after January 1st, 2020.
No.
Okay. So before. So this could be oh Jesus, this could be a lot. This could be a 360 game, could be an Xbox One game, PS3 game, PS4 game. Is this game exclusive to a platform? I got a bad feeling about this one. So it wouldn't be a first party game.
No. That's fine. It always sucks when you get no's constantly, right?
Yeah.
Like you're eliminating stuff, but you're not getting anywhere.
Yeah, it feels like you're failing, even though all you were really doing is just getting the same data points.
Yeah. Yeah. You're shrinking the pool,
Yeah.
but not enough. Yeses always shrink the pool more.
I really don't want to do any more date ones, because then I'm gonna be splitting it a lot. What's another good broad one that could help me calibrate?
Calibration.
I don't want to dive too deep into genres, but I might have to. Man, this is was this game developed in Japan?
We'll double check on that, but I'm 99% sure.
Okay.
That's six.
Was this game developed in the United States?
Yes.
Oh boy, that'd be a lot more helpful if we were talking about the 90s, because that would have narrowed it down a lot. Let's see here.
6 questions.
Yeah.
Just fill in the void for you so you can think.
Yeah. Is this game a shooter?
Yes.
Of course it is.
Wow, you nailed that one. That's 8.
It's an American game. It's got to have guns. I'm not even joking. That was just my train of thought.
That's fair.
Yeah.
Sorry, Americans. You do have some tendencies.
I was gonna. Part of me wanted to say, "Is it Ride to Hell Redemption?" But it's too early to be making that call.
Is that even a shooter? I thought it was a brawler.
Yeah, it's got shooting in it. It's third person shooter.
Sure. I know it was garbage.
Yeah.
It's one of the worst games of all time.
Yeah.
While you're thinking, for our listeners/watchers, we are now available on Spotify as an audio-only version.
Hooray.
There's a link in the description if you want the audio version. I should have said this at the top of the show.
Yeah, you probably should have.
Yeah, what can you do?
But can you download a local copy from Spotify, or is that just streaming only?
You can. So Spotify has an offline mode, so you can download
like to the Spotify app.
To the Spotify app, and then if you don't have internet, you can still play that.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, my playlists are offline, so
yeah. I can understand not having that for music, but for podcasts, like that's kind of the whole point of a podcast is that you can listen to it on like a road trip or something.
That's exactly why I'm working on that, because the people I was talking to were like, I don't have time to watch a YouTube video that long, so if you could give me an audio version, I could just listen in the car on the way to work and that kind of thing.
And we should get it up in other places.
I'm working on it.
Okay.
My next one to tackle is Apple Podcasts.
They
they were giving me some issues when I was trying to do it the other night, so I need to.
You're gonna make me install iTunes, aren't you?
No, you don't have to do it.
I probably should.
It's actually really easy to do. The problem is, yeah, well, I don't need to go into
Yeah.
it. It'll get done.
Yeah, it'll get done. We just got to do it.
I also need to find out where else we can put it.
There's like Stitcher, I think, is a service that does that.
Yeah, I think I can put it on Castos, and
There's so many of them. I don't
yeah,
know them all.
I'm gonna put them on wherever people request it. You know, and right now Spotify and Apple Podcasts is like the main places.
Okay, so
Ready?
yeah, does this game have online multiplayer?
No,
Interesting. Or without online multiplayer. It's not going to be Black again.
no. Yeah, we that should be another rule. We do not pick repeat games. It's been on the show. It cannot be picked again.
Yeah.
I'm keeping a list. So if someone had Discord, they'd be able to see it.
Yeah. If someone had Discord, they'd be able to see a lot of things. But maybe they don't like seeing all those things. Maybe they find those things very distracting.
Are you saying I'm distracting?
No, I'm saying the entirety of Discord is distracting.
Just be on my server and that's it. That's all you gotta do.
It's never just that. Because then once I'm on Discord, it'll be, oh, I want to get that mod for that game that I have to go to their Discord to download. And then it's going to be like, oh, well, if I'm on there already, I might as well.
No willpower. I understand.
No, I do have the willpower. The willpower is not getting Discord.
To not get it. But if I get it, I have no willpower left.
Well, yeah, because then I've given in. I've given in to Discord.
Oh,
I might as well go all in at that point. You don't just say, oh, I'm only going to shoot up 1 cc of heroin.
Yeah. If I'm going to shoot out 1 CC camera, I gotta go. Gotta get them all.
Yeah. Okay, so no online multiplayer. Fuck it. Was this game published by 2K?
Yes, it was.
Oh, okay.
10.
We're getting on the road here. Oh man, I could get really bold with this. Was this the third game in a franchise?
Yes. I think, yes.
Does this game have Troy Baker playing the lead character?
Yes. He played a lot of people in that era.
Does this game involve multiple realities?
Yes, it does. Are you still not convinced? He sounds like he knows what it is.
I'm riding this pony all the way to the end.
Oh man, you don't want to set a record? All right. You can set a record and then you're the fastest to beat.
Okay, sure. Is this game BioShock Infinite?
Yes, it is. It is indeed BioShock Infinite.
That was easy mode.
Well, I figured the first two that we did were pretty difficult. They were challenging, so I thought I would go a little bit easier. Maybe that would have thrown you off a little bit. Not sure how you got there that quick. Some lucky questions.
The thing is, as soon as you said no online multiplayer, I was like, what the fuck had no online
single player shooters on that
BioShock. Yeah. And so that's why I asked published by 2K, and as soon as you said it, I was like, okay.
Why did you pick the third game?
Because BioShock Infinite is the third game in the BioShock series.
Yeah, I know, but why did you specifically ask, is it the third game? Why?
Because I wanted to get a yes instead of a no.
So you already but what if it was BioShock 2 or BioShock 1?
Well, it would have. Then I would have known that it was one of those, and I could have asked something else to narrow it down.
So you just took a guess.
I just wanted to get the yes because, well, the thing is, it couldn't have been BioShock 1 because that was pre-2010.
Oh, that's true. Yeah. So this one came out in 2013.
Yeah. So, and I don't remember when BioShock 2 came out. I think it might have been 2010, but or maybe it was 2009. But it was on the 360.
It was 2010.
Okay, so I was as soon as it was published by 2K, I was like, okay, I'm like 90% sure this is BioShock Infinite. And as soon as you told me it was the third game in the franchise, I was like, okay, now I just gotta make sure. I just gotta be absolutely certain.
Did this have different dimensions in it?
Yeah. I was going to go all the way down the list and just ask really specific questions and just have you answer yes. I was going to be like, do you go to an underwater city in the DLC?
Yeah, BioShock Infinite is Man, it's one of my favorite games of all time. It's so good.
Do you
So
throw
good.
a baseball at a racist person in the intro?
Yeah, you do. You do it. Well, you try to. Spoilers.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then your hand gets caught and you can't. Yeah, Bioshock Infinite, one of my favorite games of all time. It's so good. I think it's underrated. People always point to Bioshock being like this mm, you know, kingpin in the storytelling of gaming and I'm like, yeah, it was good,
Yeah.
but I thought Bioshock Infinite was a much better game than Bioshock 1.
Well,
Hot take, maybe?
2K apparently didn't feel that way because they fucking
Why?
shut down Irrational.
Well, I don't think it did it sell not well?
Well, it sold well, but it didn't sell well enough. It sold like, I don't know, like 3 or 4 million copies or something.
It sold 11,
Really?
apparently.
Huh. And that wasn't up to their standards?
Yeah, it says Bioshock Infinite received critical acclaim with praise particularly directed at story, setting, visual design, and art direction.
Cuz
It's widely
11
considered.
million.
Yeah, it's widely considered one of the greatest video games ever made. Is it? Okay.
11 million's a lot, and
Are
they
we not sure this was Bioshock 1 that they're getting this info from? I'm gonna look up a little bit. I'm gonna look up more. That
Yeah.
sounds more like what Bioshock may have sold. 11 million copies.
Yeah. But whatever it wasn't good enough for them at the time, so they shut down Irrational.
Oh no, it says Bioshock 1 sold 4 million, Bioshock 2 sold 3 million, and Bioshock Infinite sold 11. No idea why they closed that studio then.
Yeah.
Why did they close Irrational?
You can't see it, but I'm doing the money between the fingers gesture.
Oh, apparently it was not 2K's decision. It was Ken Levine.
Really?
He said he was done. He said he's shutting down Irrational Games to create a smaller, more entrepreneurial endeavor.
That's
I
not
think
how
if I
that
remember
happening.
correctly, I could be wrong on this, but I think he was trying to get out of games,
Well, then
and
why
then
did
that didn't
he?
work.
Well, what do you mean it didn't work? He could just retire. He doesn't have to shut down a studio.
Yeah,
That's fucking weird.
it is weird. I don't know. I'd have to do more research, but that's what it.
That sounds like a real dick move.
Yeah.
Like I'm closing up shop, so all the rest of you are as well.
Well, he's very respected, but I think he rubbed a lot of people the wrong way. Like he's I don't know. Obviously a legend in the industry, and obviously still has Judas coming, but he hasn't made a game since Infinite, so it's been 11 years.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Well, there we have it.
There we have it. So that's the end of the show. I can be reached on Twitter/X at a new handle.
Mm-hmm.
Change my handle. It's at COE_TJLeo.
And I could, of course, be reached on Twitter, and only Twitter, not X. Fuck X. I don't know how many shows I've closed out by saying fuck X. But
Did I say /X again? I meant to just say Twitter.
I feel like it's been most of them. I've said fuck X. So I'm going to say it again. Fuck X. That's the fourth time I've said it today.
I agree.
Here's another one. Fuck X.
Get it out of your system now.
Fuck X, fuck X, fuck X, fuck X, fuck X. Yeah, okay. I said that's 10, right? Yeah, that feels pretty good. X is 10, so.
You saying that reminds me of a trailer that I didn't put on the list. It was because it was too small of a trailer. It's called Brute Horse.
Okay, no, we can't end yet. I have to look at that.
You have to. It's a short trailer, and it's this little guy's going. He like runs across the screen to like attack, I guess, and then comes back and he's like, "Oh shit, oh shit, oh shit, oh shit, oh shit, 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 oh shit," and he keeps backing away. That's what that reminded me of. It's really funny.
Oh,
but the trailer shows nothing about the game. Yeah.
Yeah, here it is.
Yeah.
He's got like a kettle on the spear.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then he's just like, oh shit, oh shit, oh shit, 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 oh shit.
Yet
shit.
another game that is made only because of the pun in the title.
Yep. Brute Horse.
Yeah. Now, here's the question. Can the horse die and then have a microchip retrieved and be cloned? Because then we'll love it. Then it'll be our favorite game that we never shut the fuck up about.
I don't even know what the game is.
I
It's
don't
one of those
care.
trailers that's just like, that was funny, but what is it?
What is it? Who the
Yeah, but
fuck
I thought it was
knows?
funny.
Yes,
Anyway,
I can be reached on Twitter
yes.
at @ninjas.
Cool. And you can email in your questions to be featured on the show, just like 4 of our awesome
4 people.
listeners
3 of
slash
them who
viewers.
have no connection to us.
Nope.
That's
Oh, well, called
75%.
Yeah, 3 of them who have no connection to us. That's correct. Email any questions to co.op.podcast@gmail.com, or you can just tweet at us. We'll throw it in the hat. Don't forget to comment, like, share, and you can click up here.
Are you going to say subscribe so that it lights up? I guess I've said it now, so
You
that's
just
when it's
jinxed.
going to...
Yeah, you jinxed it. It's over.
Yeah.
Subscribe. Click here. And if you missed the last episode of Press Pause the Gaming Podcast, click down here.
I appreciated, so when I reviewed the last episode, and the framing of our windows is different on that than it is how we're looking right here. You actually stuck it in the middle of the screen where you'd be pointing.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Oh, did you not do that? Did YouTube do that? Interesting.
I meant to just put it in the center.
Yeah,
but
that's
I
where
didn't
it
even
went.
check to see if oh, okay, good. I didn't even know if it worked or not. I completely forgot about it, and it was just like, it's there now.
Yeah. I guess this is a weird time to address this when we're closing out. The reason we sounded like shit last week was because we're still fucking with the software. We changed software. We did talk a little bit about it, but yeah, we sounded like garbage last week. We don't normally sound like that. That was a software thing. So just don't use the post processing that you used last week, and we won't sound inhuman.
Nope, I will only be using very limited level balancing, basically.
Yeah. Oh, and also the automatic silence cutting devastated the 20 questions segment.
Did it?
Yeah. There were like yes no answers that are just gone from it. So it was pretty aggressive.
The severity was way too high for sure. I'm gonna put it on the lowest setting this time, so that it's just really long pauses that kill it.
Okay.
Cool.
Now we're done for realsies.
We're done.
Real.
Get back to gaming.
Yep.
We're out.
We out.